e-sport
Sound resumed.
by Ascent iBox รู้จักตี4 e-sport ไหม
รู้จักอะไรนะ
ตี4 e-sport
BC
ตี4
วันนี้ไม่ถึงตีสาม อันนี้20อีกคู่21ที่เจอคอมลับแล้ววะเวท
คือ
6ไม่มีในเมตาเมื่อกี้ได้ที่1ตอนแรกพี่ได้ตาเวทมาใช่ป่ะพี่ก็ไปนั่งหาใน TFT Academy ไว้ยแม่งไม่แนะนำให้เล่นอ่ะ0เทีย
0 ที
ใช่ละเอซันเต้เป็นโคตรเก่ง
วันนี้ผมดูนะ Pro Energy ฟัจเจอร์อีกแล้วตัวฮาเลยด้วยฟัจเจอร์มาแล้วครับตัวฮาเอาฟัจเจอร์ช็อตปิมมี่แม่งเวอร์จริงว่ะพี่ ย้อนดูกี่ทีก็เวอร์
เก็บสีใช่ปะ
มันไวอ่ะ
ขึ้นเต็มฟีดเลยอ่ะ
แล้วนี่มึงกระพริบจากอะไรอะมันกระพริบจากจอเราเอง
how they're going to actually use the amount of utility that they have when we look at their composition and actually show us why the Tejo works. But looking at Navi's composition, they've actually opted for a double smokes here, and we are going to see Angel on that KO as well, Meg.
I really like that. I like the double initiator combo with the double controller on attack. I'd expect to see, you know, some hopefully fantastic pop flashes from Angel coming through those. And they can use so much of that utility to take space, as well as then sort of attack the sites and play maybe a more aggressive post plant if needed. So I do think that this is a really good choice from Navi here.
Yeah, and I am so surprised. Navi Navi, again, like, they like the KO, we know that. But they love the Brimmy. They're one of the teams that just through thick and thin, all the way through partnership, they want to play that Brimstone. They have so many setups on that. So to see them kind of move over to Viper Omen, and then the Fade KO as well instead of the Gecko, so interesting.
I think Thick played really well on the Brimstone as well last time.
He did, yeah, and I think there's a lot of pressure on Alexic going into this one as well. You know, you heard from him in the interview, he wants to just keep fighting. Yeah, I can't wait to jump into this game and throw it over to your casters. Here is Hazza and Cairo.
Thank you so much, Sue. An iconic tie and one which we've seen 5 times so far in the partnered era, with Navi only emerging victorious once. They'll face an in-form Fnatic today.
They certainly will, but it's not only that, Hazza. Both teams have actually played each other for, well, now and every stage so far, which is super interesting for me.
He finds the tower!
Fnatic has come out on top.
That's exactly it. These two titans of old have been sharing the spotlight since EMEA began, but only one has kept its place at the top. It's a throwback to start on Bind in the big point from the desk.
เป็นใครๆก็เสียความมั่นใจ โดนซะขนาดนั้น
Say, alongside Kayak,
แชงมันรีแอคเวอร์
as we look at Crashes
ใช่ไหม
อยากกินแบบยำมะ
and
ม่วง
Boaster
เผ็ด
playing towards B.
แชงนี่คือตรงกันข้าม
Very
กับผม
slow start for Navi overall as they look
Yum, mum, mum.
right across the
Back
map
up,
and putting one deposit
ๆ
one
ยำมะ
player
ม่วง
to
กับ
every lane.
เผ็ด
It's a knife landing here
Have we
as
gone
well,
in?
straight
Yeah.
on Trapa's position. It's not the Tao U2 we're going
เรี
to
ยบ
see.
ร้อยเลย
อ่ะฟัน
It's a
เจอ
ตอนแรก
loose
มันเดิน
grip
มา
on the
เสร็จ
gun in
ใช่ไหม
his
มันก็เดิน
hands.
กลับ
พี่เอ๋รู้จักไอ้
A
ที่ว่า
big
ไอ้
pick for Alexic, which
เชอ
is
รี่
so
แฟคทอรี่นิว
started slowly against Liquid,
มันยัง
never
ไม่ได้ยิง
really
สัก
got
นัดเลย
going.
ซื้อปืนมา
But a big confidence booster as Navi are now
เป็นงง
accelerating
อยู่
towards
ดีๆเดิน
B.
กลับมาสงสัยเฉย
Reaction made, Crashes now noted, but Boaster
He bought-
holding on to Hookah, only
โบสเอาน้าไป
momentarily. Still the advantage towards Navi at the moment.
Oh, and great pressure from Kayak.
down B.
Through the TP in support of Crashes, now this double up looks to be potent. Ruxic
เอาบอ
trading
กครับ
out 1
บอส
for
ยังอยู่
1.
ครับ
Just a situation. Yeah, the
Bot
spike's out
จัด
in the open.
แล้วบอส
Kayak's
จับตัว
pinged it.
มั่นใจ
He's
ด้วย
given the information back to the rest of his team, and they should expect
อุ้ย
Alexic to be
อุ้ย
making
เล็ก
his way over from the A site.
เล็กนี่ก็บอส
But
เหมือนกั
it's
น
too little, too late.
นี่บอสเรียวบอสของจริงนี่
Needs to be careful.
ไม่เคยทำให้ผิดหวังอยู่
Players
แล้ว
coming out of
ไป
Hookah
เลย ผิด
won't
หวัง
be
วะ
able to get the engagement that he wants, but Navi will get the pistol that they want.
Exactly. And just to take a step back very quickly, looking at this VIT
Like
as well,
on
we've
now,
only seen Navi
the high
pick up
as
3
host of
maps in
Champions
total
2026
against Fnatic every single time they've faced since 2023. And 2 of those maps, the only ones currently in the active pool, are both Find and Ascent to start off this VIT.
Bye, bye.
And sure, there are a lot of differences from the last time we saw them play it.
เขาชวน
In
ก็
terms
ไป
of what stayed the same, we're getting a lot of Angel on the KO at the moment.
Yeah, we certainly
แล้วเขาไม่
are.
ชวน
More
อ่ะ
recently, in
เขาไม่
terms
ชวน
of
ก็อยู่บ้านดีก
Find,
ว่า
we look towards Navi, and they actually played this map all the way
แต่ถ้า
back
แบบ
in
ไป
kickoff as
ไป
their
เองอ่ะ
opening fixture
แล้วเขามีที่ให้
against
ไปปะ
Carmenco. They lost it 13-2, so we're open
ไม่
for
ดี
a
กว่า
big improvement
ขอแค่
since
แบบ
then.
ขอแค่ไปเหยียบ
Interestingly
แค่
enough,
สเตเดียม
Fnatic
เขามี
actually played it recently
มีตัว
against
คอมให้เลย
Carmenco as well.
มี
They
คอ
were
ม
a
ให้
lot
ส
more
ตรีมพร้อมเลย
successful than Navi though.
ไม่อย่างนั้นอะไป
แต่ว่าตั๋ว
Showers
ค่าโรงแรมอ
control
อกเอง
again
นะ
to start. And
มอง
the
ไม่
KO
ไป
we've spoken so much about of Angel to try and
พี่
guard
แต่
this
พี่
position.
มีให้หมดเลยนะ
Kayak
ไม่
taking
ไม่
the
เอา
orb
อยู่ดี
already halfway towards the showstopper in round number 2.
That attack wall as well. How much space is buying? Crashes.
Oh,
Tries to take a timing through it, doesn't work out, but Chronicle still not cleared.
yeah, poses an empty threat
Ui.
with a classical so
Ui.
you would think.
นี่ยังไม่ทำให้ผิดหวัง
Player standing.
เป็นไง
Three huge kills, but still
ไม่ยิงครับสิ
Solid
สาม
is
ตัว
supposed to close.
Spike planted.
Close where Ruxic is, but that outlaw will best him. Still plenty of damage from Fnatic.
Listen, you'll take
ตัว
it
นี้เขา
right
บอกนี่แค่
That's what
น้ำ
it's
จิ้ม
all about.
นี่แค่น้ำจิ้มนะ
towards the next round. There's still a chance to force a couple of rifles here from Navi.
And in terms of how Navi are playing these defaults, it is stemming back to the KO utility. You're seeing Angel's knife being thrown towards showers.
ถือว่า
And
มัน
to
ถึง
put
ยุ
some
คของ
numbers
ภาพ
behind
อ้วน
what
แล้ว
we're
วะ
saying, in him playing way more KO, in the last 3 months, the amount of times he's played it makes up 40% of his total usage throughout his whole career. So definitely something they've been leaning towards more recently.
แต่
And this time it's a quiet start.
I think that's a trap here, considering when you... I thought it was a trap. Sorry, like, as you could see the jump spot, hoping that the players move up the tail utility to lock them in long. Kayak stands, ready for the engagement.
Still hanging around. It's Ruxic to clear him. Zhao should use the Prowler here, most likely.
เฮ้ย
No? Okay. Just takes the fight dry and they will
บอ
win
ส
it.
บอส
แย่แล้วว่ะ
A lot of the open engagements going Navi's way, but still the stall working out for Fnatic.
Lexic looking to converge onto the site. Knife gonna hit Boaster.
ทะลุ
Takes
นั่
off
น
the
ไง
Astra utility and with Alpha orbiting the edge
มา
of
แล้
the
วมัน
smoke,
เอียง
Lexic
ตัว
is
วาง
buried
เป้า
in
มันเลยแบบ
second.
พร้อมยิง
Moving
แน่
into
นอน
the site now,
นั่น
Crashies in support, Boaster still hanging around, but it's Crashies to try and do it all. Chronicle forced into another
ดีจีว่ะ
retake
2-0
on his lonesome. And this time Navi look even more favoured.
I mean, two players are really low here. All it would take is one
แม่
bullet
ง
to
ตอน
take
นี้
them
แบบปั้น
out.
หน้ารอแล้วอ่ะไม่รู้จะยิง
Clean
แบบไหนดี
headshot from Chronicle. Navi, you thought that the bonus round was a certainty, and just about Hero is able
เฮ้ย
to
เดี๋ยวนะ
slip
แต่ว่า
back into the
แต่
garden
ว่า
against his former teammate.
บอลนะ
Wants to take that first contact as soon
ไม่
as
เปิ
the
ดบอล
spike
ด้วย
is met. And that'll be the information through the horn to just confirm that Chronicle is laying idle, trying to get active, looking for a fight. Hero the first that he finds and cutting off. He has to know about the elbow angle, but Shao converts it. 3 from 3 for Navi.
And not only that, Fnatic will get put to a poor buy, so the momentum firmly in the attack right now. Fnatic are not really living with the first couple of rounds. And I mean, the entries as well have been spectacular from Navi.
It's a great flash drive over the top there from Angel as well, as we just catch it on the replay here. Boaster has nothing to do in backside, and with the suppression as well, the util taken offline. Something I want to focus in on here quickly is that Teho again. And with the changes made and the fact that you can't just cycle those salvos so consistently, how do Fnatic try and set it up? Looks like a contact piece.
เอาไป
Just
เจอ
to
นัดหนึ่
shuffle
งครับ
down sand for now.
Oh, they'll be shuffling away very quickly. That's another prawn put to the grave. At least the
ครึ่งแรกมันแค่
Bulldog
น้ำจิ้ม
was
ไง
recovered
ของ
back
จริง
on
มันอยู่ครึ่ง
towards
หลังนะ
Kayak, and the players on long start to see what they can find on the site. Options to hit TP if it's really needed, but they don't have showers control.
And the salvo is just stalled for now, but Kayak is tethered, and so the spam connects to his position. One thing I will say as well is Navi have had opening picks on every round so far, but
มาซะช้าเลย
not quite the equalizer, but certainly pushing Fnatic in the right direction. Alpha has an upgrade. The hookah end of the push completely shut down.
ไว้
It's
สองคนนี้
4
เขามา
players long,
มาร
and
อเอ
the Fnatic members are ready, accounting for showers.
อ่านขาด
ซื้อมันซื้อ
I think
เดี๋ยวต้อง
this
ดู
is
ว่า
still going to be
แต่มัน
towards
จบบีอยู่แล้ว
You don't want to chance it by going
มีดในไซเตอร์คนเดียว
towards
เนี่ย
the TP,
บีแน่นอน
right? And that's exactly the case as Navi try and execute into the
เอ้ย
site.
Fnatic caught just before the smoke plumes. It's Alpha who gets dropped. As Boaster scurrying sightwards, Crashies left elsewhere. Navi making this one clean. And when you consider the ults that they have and the ones they're coming up on, Hero just one off the pit now, this next rifle round could be very problematic.
Crashies can go and do a bit of damage here when you look at what's in the pockets of Navi. Bulldog not quite hitting. Crashies looks for another entry to the next engagement.
But as the Americans come into the team, speaking so much about how he's been thriving in this high energy environment, Boaster mentioning it himself on the Spike Drop podcast. Cheeky plug there as well. Yeah, he's by himself here. It's just going to go down to the spike. And as I was saying, it's a strong start for Navi. When they looked best on this map before, it was their defensive record, not their attack. So already worrying signs for Fnatic. You start to wonder, when do we reach the point of
Fnatic
requiring
comeback
a
อีกแล้ว
timeout? Well, okay.
There you go,
Question
mate.
answered.
Yeah, exactly. You ask the question and the answer will come. I think that's a good.
นะบอกนี่อันนี้แค่จำจิ้มนะ ถ้าให้เอา achievement ตั้งแต่แข่งเกมนี่ทั้งจอก็ไม่พอ
ถ้าเป็นทหารนี่นะบอกว่าไม่มีที่พอปักเสื้อฮะ
ต้องห้อยเพิ่มอ่ะ
before. They've already doubled that. Changes made, of course, as well, in terms of the comp, but Fnatic resting on what had worked for them before. Into the second rifle round of this game, I should say. The op is out for Kayak.
Will that really be the difference for Fnatic? As NAVI have been making a lot of use out this B side of the map. Line up for Hero. Once again, they put pressure towards here. Spike slowly making its way.
You're expecting the showstopper as well.
อะไรอ่ะ
But
Ow,
only taken off
the
line.
what
And
bait?
Alpha as well gets a kill. It's still
Motherfucker.
even though in terms of the player count, that Spike can go
ระ
down.
เบิดมันทำมาเนี่ย
Shao
Oh, I bet.
sending the Nightfall towards spawn. It's only going to connect on 2 Fnatic players, but all 3 are here and present.
Having to retake with an op is not ideal. The good thing is those crashes almost has a full build, but clearing Shao in the corner is a problem. Still, with this Viper's put up, you think that NAVI have the advantage. But the just seen a Roxic.
ผ้าคลุมโผล่
It has to be the young man who's been good for a clutch before.
Oh my
Kayak
god
instead to get Fnatic's first
Jack.
round.
จัก
A player in form himself, Kayak, of course. And Fnatic getting on the board against all odds and ultimates in that round. Shao and Alexic both investing. This was such a
มัน
nice
เปลี่ยนไป
use
เลยนะไอ้เอาไป
of
เย
the
อะ
drone there. The suppression from Alpha. Rooksik getting caught on the edge of the pit is horrendous.
It's not even that though, it's the fact that the cloak comes out and that's how he's
Yeah,
identified.
exactly. It's egregious. A frustrating way to lose. But can they respond immediately, or do Fnatic have the answer? The op is back out and on the A site yet again. The pit in play this time, though, from Chronicle, looking to hold this down solo.
Yeah, with a judge in hand, close quarters is not something you want to try and get close to. Kayak looking towards
pad.
Showers. And, the
Well,
flash denies him a chance at the engagement. Kayak's classic instead works out. But he's got to be careful of the
Yeah,
next
good.
swing, and it goes Navi's way.
Chronicle still orbiting in the pit,
ถ้า
though,
เกิดว่า
about to get pushed from
นัดหน้าที่ทารอนเจอเปเปเล็กแล้วทารอนตกเปเปเล็กได้ผมว่าหนทางปารีสนี่ไม่ไกลเลย
has no
โอ้ยตอนนี้ก็ใกล้แล้ว
ถ้าได้ไปนี่คือได้ลุ้นละ
As Fnatic try to make
ชนะ
their way their
ชนะ
entry
T1 ก็
back
คือ
towards site. And look at Alpha,
ขึ้นก้าวแล้ว
so close to heaven. Rooksik needs to
เพราะที่ว่ามันท็อปโฟไง
be careful.
อืม
This could go back towards Fnatic. Still playing around with smoke, and that should dissipate at any
นี่
moment
ส
in
โมกสง
time.
สัย
just replenished it, but yeah, now has to force the TP out.
Hey,
Alpha
Jer.
flipping at the heels, can't find it. Still Chronicle alive in this pit.
Still not had his chance, but now
ถามโห
knows
ป่ะน่ะ
that the fade should be close.
มันเป็นแง่งพอดีพี่
Alpha as well.
มันเป็นข้างนอกพอ
It's
ดี
a stalemate between the two, and an ultimate still being invested by Fnatic.
เอ้า
Oh,
โผล่
he
บอกเอ้า
oversteps though. Cron now has a chance.
Yeah, getting close. In the pocket, it's Shao.
นี่
And
แต่
it's
ปืนมัน
Cron
ได้
to
ไง
win it out.
ใช่ไหม
Still not on the spike, still not getting it
เป็
defused.
นเรื่อง
Finally, they'll have their chance
นาแองคัด
now. As Angel tries to make his way through, he won't
นาแองบ
even
อกกลุ่ม
get
เซฟ
it
ดีกว่า
though, as that spike's already defused.
ไอ้โอขึ้นไปยืนข้างบน
Fnatic doubling up.
มันเป็นแก๊ปแบบนิดเดียว
Navi
เนี่ย
still
ยืน
have
ได้
money beneath them. But it's 2 successful retakes in a row against the team with the highest post-plant win percentage in the league. Now, sure, the sample size
ไอ้ผู้ฮาวีที่ไป
isn't
ทุ
the
กอย่างเลย
greatest. Navi have
เสียงคน
struggled
เดิ
to
ม
get
เลย
into these positions. But it's just how static they are. Once they realise that the pit is in play, it doesn't look like anyone is ready to take charge of the situation.
Yeah, it was a
Lang
real
Thong,
obstacle that they couldn't mount
คนโหด
whatsoever.
อ่ะแต่ที่ก่อนเด็บไม่ได้ดู
Although Navi look to go back to more of a default round, Rooksik the one holding on towards long, and he has an op as
ตาจัก
well.
บอกอ๋อมึงเอาออฟมาล็อก
Had
มี
just
ลอง
done Kayak,
คือ
and
โอ
the
เมน
response from Fnatic is to just sit and
ไอ้
wait with
ไอ้
bated
มิว
breath.
สิกมันดูนี่มาแน่เลย
Alpha's
ซี
ult
เน็ต
being in play does make you wonder, is
Tony
there
Galang
some
hit there.
kind of
See
setup
it.
that got cooked up? But It's all
Fnatic
looking a
ทำให้ดู
little
ละ
reactive here. Navi making the first move towards A.
นี่ไง
Through, but Crunch still gets away with a kill
โกด
onto
ว่ะ
his
ไม่โกด
opposite
โคนิเคิล
number. And that one's done
คือเลียวโกด
and it's a brilliant
นี่
play.
ไม่พลิกต่อได้เป็นไงไม่ฮีทไม่ฮีท
So he's put on notice.
รีโหลดก่อนไอ้เหี้ยแต่เน็ตลูกเนี้ยเป็นเรื่อง
Support.
เฮ้ยรอด
Stuck in
อะไรอะ
backside.
ตัวจัด
Self taken out. Fnatic within one.
And Chronicle surviving on 1 HP.
kacak
Another
เลย
3k in defense of the A
เออ
side.
ตาคล้ายๆอยู่
Kayak well supported in the audience today.
And in the server.
Quite right. This was very well played from Kron.
ของจริง
And
ของ
that's
พี่โค
one
นิเคิล
difficulty that you're always going to have, just trying to hard force a site execution
ตอนแรกผมนึกว่ามัน
against
อายุเยอะ
Fnatic
แล้วนะ
here. With Alpha
เปิด
เล่น
ก่อน
ได้
อะ
ยาวๆ
just the
ผม
soft
อยาก
part
22
of utility
23
they have
ไม่ถึงด้วย
available to
ไม่ถึง
them.
22 23
We're
นะ
not seeing those salvos used.
ตอนแรกนึกว่ามันแบบ25 26คือมันเล่นมาตั้งแต่ตอนยูแกมบิดมัน18มั้ง
ใช่
18อะลังวัยรุ่นอย่างนี้ก็ยาวๆเลยครับพี่โคแม่งเป็นโกดตั้งแต่อายุ22พอกับแอสปาร์ตเลยแอสปาร์ตถ่ายรูปคู่น้องจริงนี่คือเป็นเพื่อนกันนะอยู่เท่ากัน
ฝรั่งโตไว
คนที่ขึ้นตามตอนนี้มันถ้วยเยอะสุดแล้วปะ
Very
Hey.
hot or cold.
Hurricane.
And if he didn't, you just knew if it was
ใช่มันรับจากแกมบิดเสร็จมันรับกับเอโรติก
Navi
ต่อ
are on the half by here.
พอลอนจบแล้วครับผม
See the 4-1 group up. Heavy pressure on Boaster.
But it's only that. Look at Long. Look at the proactivity from the defense.
พี่แนทก็แต่งงานแล้ว
Alex moved up onto the line and the flick finds
Wala
Hero.
ka tenga, lolo.
Armageddon in. Alexic just flying past it into the backside
Yeah,
now, but
people-
Boaster's quick on it. Faster
ตัวนี้พี่โบ๊ท
to
เข้ม
the fight.
พี่โบ๊ท
And Navi now
พี่โบ๊ท
shut
ในโซนนี้
out,
อย่าง
making
เข้ม
their only approach from Hookah are
ออก
forced
น
to
อกโซนเป็นไงล่าสุด
reconsider.
ออกนอกโซนก็เข้มนะ แต่ถ้าเจอเกมไวก็
On
นี่
top of
อี
that,
ก
look
เรื่อง
at this drone. This is going to find Angel.
ถ้าเจอแบบซิงๆหน่อยพี่โบ๊ทนี่
Quite
ไป
catch
เลยค
the
รับ
second player as well. And Kayak
Mình lang
surely
luôn.
on the line.
Just waiting to receive here, and Kayak getting
Oi, oi.
another suppressed mid-flight. Bit of entertainment, but still good to go.
พีคไมค์กีเป็น
With
เวน
Alpha
ดอ
by
ล
his side, Fnatic looking
โอ้พลัก
indomitable
มันดีว่ะ
on round number 8. The score is tied. It's 4 in a row.
And
Ai,
so
cho Navi mà
flawless
đang đủ
as
được.
well to boot. All equal.
ไก่มาไกลไป
Back to a rifle versus rifle fight.
We even see the Armageddon invested there as well from Alpha, and with Bind having such tight lanes,
Yeah.
it's a great ultimate to slow down the pace. Coming back to the Alexic conversation, you can see he is still committed to making that play and opening up the space. He's started this game fairly well, all things considered. Just need to see the rest of Na'Vi involved.
Navi need to make good of that early advantage that they were able to create for themselves, and slowly but surely Fnatic have built themselves back into this game.
It's Boaster on the op in this round. We know that he liked to play it a lot before. We were talking
Boaster.
2020 back in the beta. He used to be a jet player, you know, we saw it.
And there's the iconic Astra round as well.
บัว
when
บอก
he
ไหน
was on
ลอง
the
มั้างสิ
operator on attack.
หน้าซีเน็ต
That was the other side of the map. But it's a Fnatic grouped up on B right now with the support of Kron's wall.
ผู้บุกเบิกเมตา
Give a little bit of information mid-round. That's where the stealth drone is going to help supplement. And they've actually sent Kayak down long here as well, just to reconfirm.
Yeah, I really like this. And the players getting into position as well. And Kron, once again,
แม่ง
getting
ยิง
the
จนสโมกตาย
on
กี่
the
ตัว
A
แล้ว
side. But Rootsy up close, waiting for the utility to fade so he can get
Nhiều
his
chất
chance
ạ.
at the engagement. And he went out and continues forward.
Ây, Lucy.
Charges forward.
เนี่ยลูเซียเขา
Does
สิ
he
ง
get the next one?
Đến
And
ปิดให้เพื่อนเลยครับ
Kayak's still on the hunt.
Huge positioning for him here. Angel
30 seconds
is
left.
considering it.
ด่านนี้เขาไม่เล่นบิมกันแล้วเหรอ
Unlucky for the young duelist, but not
ก็ยังเล่นนะแต่ว่าเอ็นโรติกไม่เล่นอยู่แล้วโบสเล่นนาตาแทบจะตลอดส่วนนาวีก็พร้อมจะไปเข้าเหมือนคนอื่น
A player who has always shown confidence even against the best teams in the league. You have to consider his journey here as well, also coming from the Turkish league, but only facing Alpha once before this year. All the way back in January 2022, when he was on Surreal Esports.
Enemy remaining.
Alpha, of course, 3 years now with Fnatic, but the bigger point, that result against Vitality in the previous stage was led by Ruxic. That was a real turning point for them. You're hoping it's going to be the same sort of thing here if they're to have any chance, and he does bring out the op in round number 10.
Yeah, picked it up from Kayak in the last one. Oh, nothing in terms of straight heads-up engagements. Look at Ruxic right now, all the way up short.
And the same drone from Alpha taken on this timing to clear the B space. And as NAVI remain resolute in their positioning towards A, you can sort of see the cogs turning. They're thinking about maybe going back and clearing B, but Ruxic certainly showing some intent here.
You know the KOs here at least.
Yeah, and 2 suppressed, so NAVI should begin to scale now.
Yeah, but it's whether they clear Cockcron in this corner. They now know the null command committed, and it's Electric actually that gets the real difference maker. They can easily pick up Angel if needed, and that's exactly what's going to happen. There's only 2 players for Fnatic left. Crashes. Well, actually, it's just Kayak, and he's going to opt to save that op.
Yeah, this Kayak's up a certain creek without a paddle. He's not going to be giving it a go. The op will remain saved. But a brilliant execution from NAVI. You saw the combo utility drop into lamps as well. Caught out Boaster with a C. Now they're on the hunt because money has not been an issue for the side so far. And Ruxic finishes it with a flourish and in-zone flawless.
Fnatic, after the timeout, has
เหลือเชื่อกระโดดมาช็อตนี้คนรอโดน
getting his changes in, and those ultimates as well, which could push Navi even further ahead. Most importantly, the showstopper, but I guess Fnatic have theirs as well.
And it was also a great trade on the opening from Alexic. When we speak of him coming into this team as a shy character, the traits he does possess is just being so malleable as a duelist, and having grown up watching Angel play, he said, there's a lot of respect there, and it's a partnership which we need to see blossom if Navi are to succeed. If you look back at the changes they've historically made to this roster, it's always been the duelist spot, so if they can get that right, it might just be what they need.
ใช่ไหมถือว่ามีซีเน็ตเป็นไอดอลตุรกีเหมือนกันด้วย
มันเห็นซีเน็ตแล้วแบบเฮ้ยมิติงแคนเวิร์ก
And that's Electric now spotted in hookah with the showstopper as well, so he can continue to threaten the idea of a fast pop.
ซีเน็ตแม่งออฟทุกตัวไม่ว่าจะจับอะไร
And with Alpha's drone gone, he's not got much information off the back of it. A potential red herring.
You can see already what Fnatic
จำปี 2023 นะที่ซีเน็ตเจอกับอาคังอย่างมัน
to frisk the attack side from short. Hero
ตอนซีเน็ตยังหนุ่ม
to see if he can return it.
ตอนนั้นอาคังก็ยังหนุ่มพอหลังจากปีนั้นอาคังบอกมันแก่แล้วเริ่มช้าลง
ข้างมันโนไปเอง
แล้วมันก็ได้แชมป์ 2024
And neither of the duelists from East able to connect. Kron in the corner, we've seen this before.
Yes, we have, and he's still clear. Does the players come out? Fnatic
ไม่มีใครเช็ค
demolish.
นี่อย่าตันเพื่อนไปทิ้ง
And a
ไม่ไหว
spike
แล้ว
lost in no man's land. Time so low. Navi need to get a move on very quickly. It's going to have to just come down to engagements. They're not going to be able to get this fight down.
น่าจะล็อกหน้าห้องน้ำไม่มีโคนเลยนี่เดินยึกยักอยู่ตรงเนี้ย
Navi have their
สโมกก็ขึ้นอยู่โอ้โห
Advantage on the half is confirmed.
It's been
a very streaky start to the rematch in stage 2 between the teams. Well guarded from Hero here. Kron forced to back up. Even playing from the corner. Getting all that he needed and then some. Well, Fnatic just can't hang on.
รถยืนงงอยู่เลย
เหมือนพี่โบ๊ทยืนแบบว่าล็อกสโมกก่อน
Yeah, this is going to be a big round for Navi. If they can manage to
มาแล้ว
push
ที่เดิ
this
มเลย
advantage, moving on to the defense to 4
เดี๋ยว
rounds.
เราเดินไวกัน
Absolutely laughing. But Navi have just went straight into
วินาเทศไว
pit. And it's been a trade out. They've got rid of the ultimate Navi. Kayak, one of his own, but I mean, keeping Navi honest are Fnatic.
And Ruxik continuing this movement forwards. TP top truck.
หนาวีโหด
Tries to
นะ
dig through the wall on crashes. It will be a 3-on-3, but Navi have their pit. Oh, and they found Boaster.
Massive pick. And still initiation util to get back in here for the 2 remaining players. But
It's
that's
just
เฮ้ย หมุน
เฮ้ย หมุนปะ
done now.
yeah, it's gone. Very quickly just to gain that backside control. Feels like Fnatic have been wasteful getting back in here. And with time ticking away, you can't help but feel that this will be a Navi round. And they will get their 8-4 half right here, right now.
With Alpha shut down by his fellow countrymen.
ยาก
It will
ไป
end with 8 for Navi in the opening half. A setback which they were able to
ระวังพี่โบ๊ทพี่โบ๊ทกับนาแองเหรออืมยากเลยหนาน่าจะไปก่อนทรง
นานแล้วปีสุดท้ายแล้ว
อืมแต่พี่โบ๊ทนี่ถ้าเลิกเล่นไปก็อาจจะเป็นโค้ชได้อยู่
โหได้แน่นอน
พี่โบ๊ทแรงพี่เคยรู้เกือบไม่เกือบครับ100เลยครับทะลุ100พี่โบ๊ท30นะแอง36พี่เอ๋ย37 38เนี่ยทะลุ100ครับ เขาเรียกว่าทะลุหลอด ถ้าเอาพี่ทีมนะแองพี่โบ๊ท FNS นะเจสมาอยู่ด้วยกันอะทะลุแน่นอน150อ่ะ
หิววะแต่ไม่รู้กินอะไรดี
พี่เอ๋ยมันเคยมีผมเคยเห็นมันคือปากกาลดความอ้วนอะมันมีอยู่จริงด้วยที่เขาไว้จิ้มตรงท้องแล้วมันจะไม่หิวข้าว
อ๋อ
มันคืออะไร
เคย
อะ
เห็นอยู่
หลอกปะ
เคยเห็นอยู่เคยเห็นบัตรปากอะไรที่ท้องไม่รู้ นานละเกี่ยวกับลดความอ้วนนี่แหละ
นั่นคือเบาหวานนะใช่เหรอไอ้ปากกาลดความอ้วนอะนะ
for that one. By the way, we are first to have
ไอ้เหี้ยเทคโพสอีกแล้วเป็นติกเป็นอะไรกับเทคโพสเนี่ย
โหเทคพอร์ตว่ะ
ปวดหัวเลย ทุกครั้งที่มีเฟนติก 80%ไม่มีโอกาสเกิดเทคโพสขึ้น ไม่ว่าจะเจอใครก็ตาม
หรือว่าดีสั่งข้าวเลยเวลานี้
ดูน้าเองวอร์มใหญ่แล้วครับอื้อหือวอร์มยับ โดนแน่พี่โบ๊ทน้าจับเมาส์แบบกุมเมาส์เลยวะจับผิดมนุษย์มานาตีสี่เกมตีสี่อีสปอร์ตครับ EMEA แม่งเมื่อวานแม่งเป็นคู่ง่ายๆ แม่งก็จัด3 เกมสัก2 คู่ ไม่รู้อะไร งง
but they've got to get there first.
มาครับ
ผมไม่ทันได้อาหารเลย
quick jump
Little
spot.
tap.
Couple bullets sent his way, so information caught.
พี่ว่าสมมติว่าถ้าโคนิเคิลมันหลุดแฟนติกไปจะมีคนเซ็นไหม
มีดิ
Alpha
เอเปกแล้วหนึ่ง
just
เอเปก
biding his time on the other side of the
เอเป
smoke
กมัน
here
พร้อม
and
กับลง
opens
เล่
up
น
and
เอ็กเซน
Ruxic
ชั่นแล้วเนี่ย
shows face.
เบิร์ดได้ไปนู่นเลยสักพิก
Stalemate
เลย
trade of information. Alexic
ดาว
still
เลยอะต้องการมือ
fight the
ปืน
front
ชั้นยอด
line
อยู่
with
ช่วย
Chronicle cornered. He's looking to cut him
Hey,
out, and
yeah.
it's a brilliantly
Yeah.
played maneuver
Alex.
from Alexic. Another first blood in another pistol round.
I mean, does Navi take it a step further, go and try and clear out towards A? They know that Showers is clear, and that'll be able
Then
to
we
make
would
them
quit
get
that.
more numbers towards this B side, where Fnatic stand outside of.
Alexic is
Okay.
low HP though, so has to walk with an air of
Okay, yeah.
caution. Angel on the other side throws his knife to the corner and reveals
Liquid
the
will send
long
every
side of the
50 ปี
push,
แล้ว
but
พี่
it's Hookah he needs to be
Then you'll see it.
concerned of. The peak slightly betrays him, but Boaster takes the timing and there's no one else to show face. Crashies has been caught in the corner. Kayak the same, but clutching it out. Shao getting one back, and that's the spike drop towards Sand.
Yeah, how do you even get round with
ผม
the
ว่าด้านหลัง
time
คัดจากมันซ้อม
pressure
หลัก
as well?
Ruxic didn't have to do too much there,
Yeah, it's
but
up.
wanted to stop the players pushing back up.
มองไว้หลับ
It's
รอ
between
สิครับ
Hero and Shao now to stop Fnatic recovering things. Time is so low,
Ooh,
it's going
we
to come
done deal.
down to the fights
เยอะหันไปไหน
again.
เมื่อกี้
And it's Shao to save them once more.
Yeah, and that
ระเบิดมันบัง
gap's
เหรอ
just going to grow for the defence. That's going to be so much better. As Fnatic got a big mountain to try and surmount.
It's a brilliant start from Alexic. NAVI now have taken both pistols and both have begun
One enemy
with the check
remaining.
collecting
Last player
confidence.
standing.
Nice!
Shao
Nice
wrapping
shot.
it up, and the point to mention
my
with him
God.
is that back when this team was challenging for titles, the partnership of him and Angel, Fade was his most played agent, but seen a lot of Sova as of late.
Of course, the player's just
Oh.
walking into this
ปืน
judge.
ไปเลย
Spike
Yeah.
down. B.
It's as easy as that.
Wait, could this be the second shotgun ace that we've seen this year?
นี่คือพาวเลอ
We
ร์มั
had
นอง
Mr.
ศาไหน
Fallen
เนี่
with
ย
the
งง
Bucky.
ออฟเจ
I
อ
don't
ร์
know if
เชอ
they're
รี่
going to
ขั
let
ดท่า
Ruxic get it. I mean, pretty difficult. But Alpha in market is away from things for
ที่จำออ
now.
ฟเจอร์
I mean,
เฟนติก
he's going
ที่
for
มัน
it.
เล่นเซฟ
Seems
เฟอ
to
ร์
be
ด่าน
the
นี้เลย
case.
ที่เจอเป๊ปเลย
Alpha's going to walk
Yeah.
straight into him. And here it is.
โอ้ยเลย
Second shotgun ace.
That we've seen in VCT this year. Brilliant from Ruxic. And it's zone flawless
แบ
to
บนาวี
boot.
ดิดู
And with
แปล
the
ก
round kept so clean, I mean, he still had 150 HP after killing 4 players. In fact, nobody took any damage. That's the perfect anti-eco. And it sets them up so nicely for this bonus.
Fnatic fans not impressed. And map number 1, which is Navi's pick, of course, so there's still time to come back into this. Fnatic cautious about any pushes coming through from Navi, which there has been, but Navi haven't got anything from it. In fact, actually, they've received damage and forced back.
So he's having a look in here. Kron does catch a bit of damage. Regen shield is going to help him out though. You've already moved over 3 players towards the B side of the map, and that's where Xiao is imperative to try and reconfirm some info, but the Prowler doesn't tether onto a target. There's still a bit of a void, a fog of war that shrouds Na'Vi right now.
Yeah, Fnatic not really taking much space either, and Navi being proactive, taking any space that Fnatic did have away from them.
Question is, did they hear those steps trailing away in market? Chronicle has reconfirmed that Na'Vi are on the aggressive, so Fnatic need to react towards A, but the snake bite, the paint shells, it's all coming out the
30 seconds
woodworks.
left.
There's nowhere for them to go.
And look at the time, it's so low at the minute, and Fnatic's still slow rolling this.
Hitting the 20-second mark, and only then do Fnatic break the neck of the site. With Angel hanging around in the smoke within, it's a hell of a shot from Boaster. Everyone on Fnatic needs to find the mark, but it's just him right now. 3-on-3 situation, all of a sudden Na'Vi no longer favoured.
Not at all, and Hero's the next one to get the kill.
But looking at the player positions, they are
But
stuck
people
on
buy
the
like that.
site.
โดนโบนัสเลย
She's playing from the
ตรง
pocket.
โดนว่ะ
The smoke's still in play.
แต่เยอะอยู่ค
Alpha
รับ
left to his own devices
But
between the two of
เลือดเต็ม
them. Can they take down 3? The clear on Crashy should be expected. The spam already starting to
Hey.
come through, but Alpha rears his
Hey.
head to help.
Didi
Horn
Hachi.
in hand, but Crashy just wants the
อื
jewel.
ม
And he's gonna win it, no trouble.
มันเสียหายเยอะจังอะ
Hero deleted, and Fnatic back to 5.
And I hate to be the
Okay,
party
they
pooper
win.
here. They've won the round, but at what cost? 4 rifles lost. And you're looking at the next round, this is a massive swing round.
One enemy.
Fnatic need to be careful. And there's some missing pieces of utility,
Nice, boys. Come on.
including light shields as well. There's no clearing utility in the form of the... Oh, I was about to say no drone, but they went for it, and also the the boom bot as well.
Navi trying to open the round with a bit of a set piece. Roxic TPing in the corner with the paranoia prepared. Fnatic will not walk into it though. They remain steadfast in approach.
This is a really nice line for Alexic to
Yeah.
set upon right now.
But he's got his crosshair in the middle. He's playing for the flick, at least he was. Knew where the fade was because of the Prowler, but it's the left side which he gambles on, and
เฮ้ยโอ้โห
damage taken down to
เขียนไป
29.
ดิ
Yeah, and Boaster's down to 10 though. That outlaw shot did hit. It's, Navi. Navi did was going to be proactive,
Yeah.
but Angel's got nothing because he got flashed out. And now Fnatic start to make their move onto the A site.
Most are calling a slow round, but it worked out for them in the previous. Chronicle now with the opening pick. And Na'Vi forced
30
all the way back. The gaps filled by the salvos. The nade a little late to deny the spike plant. Man advantage for Fnatic in post.
Oh, really nice clear through lamps right now. A little bit of delay, but it's Alexic who's managed to find crashes.
Fnatic yet
ถือ
to
ว่าแคนเซิล
lose a post
พารา
plant
นอย
on
ได้
this
สวยค
map
รับ
so far.
เอเวอร์ติกช็อตนี้
But this might be one of the best opportunities. Na'Vi get the stun
Hey,
slightly
hey, bang,
missing.
bang, bang.
Xiao side stepping, but
Yeah,
Fnatic
Pamo.
finding the
Pamo.
jewels. And with that, Hero is the last player left up against
Step back.
his former club.
แต่ไป
And it looks like his number is up. Alpha has it.
เหลี่ยมตัวนิ
And
เซนนี่คือแบบ
Fnatic continue to clip back
ไม่
at this
ทำมานี่คือ
lead.
It was a
โดนทีเผยได้แหละ
It really was. And now they've done the damage that's needed to recover their economy state a little bit and also bring their ultimates online as well. Thinking of the Nightfall, for instance, for crashes.
Oh. Some of these Guardian shots have been so crisp. And there you go. If there's one way to fast track yourself to a first ace, it would be with the judge, I suppose. Just as that was a target-rich environment of players, Na'Vi are anything but rich here.
It's the Sheriff, though, that Alexic, we've seen him do work on. He's not going to get the opportunity this time. Hero on the other side is caught out by Chronicle. And with that spike committed towards A, Fnatic probably thinking, hey, maybe B's not a bad idea if we can try and escape.
Kron calling to Alpha to potentially come back and clear, but without a drone, his hands are busy. Alexic, the next to be shown the door as Fnatic make their way through this half buy. Yeah, you can just see the positioning of Chronicle is a lot more reserved than it had been in previous rounds. NAVI were gaining value from their proactivity, but here it's a lot more labored. And in terms of what's working well for Fnatic, they're finding the space up A short, just biding their time for the opening.
70
So the Des discussed it in detail, the attack speed. This one working just fine for them. Nice shot, Roxic, though, and that makes things interesting.
นี่ไง
That it does, keeps the attention for this. And there's players low on Fnatic that are within a striking distance of a Sheriff.
คิดว่าตัวนี้แน่เครียดไหม
The paranoia, which slightly missing out on Poster, just reconfirm that NAVI is still making an attempt of this as they collapse sightwards. Roxic
เซฟ
last
ต่อ
left,
ไม่รอแล้วนะ
and they know exactly where he makes his reprisal from. So Fnatic with 7 now, the gap closed up to 3. Starting to think we're arriving in timeout territory for NAVI once more. We saw how important it was for both sides to get themselves back on track in that first half. Roxic getting both is certainly going to help out.
Yeah, keeping Fnatic's cash humble, which is going to be really nice as we start to move in towards the next couple of rounds. And yeah, I agree, as you said, in terms of a timeout, especially when we consider the ultimates and the plans that Fnatic might have, those contingencies needed for the defense of NAVI.
Sometimes actions speak louder than words, and looking at the HUD, you can see Fnatic one off a royal flush. It's just Chronicle's Viper's Pit which is missing on this
เฮ้ย
round.
มันหลอกในหลอกนี่ว่า
And in terms of showing any kind of strategy,
แล้วก็
it's just a 3-player face on Showers to start.
That's
ฝั่ง
a
บุ
tough
รีจะบอกโอเมนวับหลอก
battle to
Liam.
come into.
Tough way to go if you're Alexic. We know how good his first bloods have been in winning NAVI rounds. He'll be without his services here as Fnatic are creating a short pressure again as they have executed here for the last few.
Look at Kron this time, he's moved even further towards B long, and as Fnatic just moved their way in
เฮ้ย
towards
อาจารย์
the A site.
มัวนะเราเนี่ย
Kayak making that space, and well, Angel holding on towards Showers. Roxic tries to get a bit cheeky, moving into his own smoke, but Kayak had taken that space. And Fnatic have the option to go B if they want, but need to be careful because Hero's sitting in the TP.
Yeah, he is. This is a very interesting position that he's taken up. Looks like they are just going to double down and commit to the site itself, though, which means that the rotation time is that little bit longer for Hero, and it shouldn't even be considered at this point. Chronicle catches him. It's a flawlessly played round by
พอเลทครับ
Fnatic. Not
ให้เขาฟอร์มในการเป็น
overcomplicating
ที
things.
มโบสเตอร์ทำเวิร์ก
That's a long way.
High price to
เว
pay.
ลาระบด
Indeed.
Navi going for that timeout that we're
บอก
talking
เป้ารอบ
about.
ผม
I'm confused as to what the plan was through with
enemy
Hero sitting in
remaining.
that TP, whether they were trying to hopefully trying to
no.
force Fnatic through.
I do understand it though, as Fnatic. Trivial at this point.
ที่จะหลับจริงกว่าแชทเรียกว่ามี1วูบเมื่อกี้แบบ1สเต็ปคู่เฟนาติกมันจัด
Here in the game, ultimately one which will determine who comes out on top and bind.
That's it. I mean, for how much longer will Navi stay ahead? That is the question. The answer we're going to find out
ดัง
shortly.
นั้นเราต้องเล่นเก
I
ม
mean, ultimates to maybe push them back or push the round into Navi's favour through a thrifty, whether that be the showstopper, or even a hero rifle on Ruxic.
One suppressed.
Angel with his first 0 point of the round does collect some information towards a short, catching Navi's attention, but this poison orb from Chronicle is a signpost, a statement of intent, one not shown by Fnatic in recent rounds.
Oh, well, somehow Ruxic's found Kayak there. Chow maybe feeling a bit stuck. Ruxic's going for an aggressive TP. A crossfire established, sure.
แต่เป็นพีก
Just gone for it.
Flashback onto the angle, does pick up the kill, but Alphier a trade, an equivalent exchange. He's
ไม่เห็นมันอะ
over the top
ไม่
of
เห็น
the smoke, but can't quite thread the needle.
And that's upgrades that Navi will go and collect. So this round now put into the realms of possibility for the defence. Fnatic still stick around.
30 วิแล้ว
30 seconds
Want to
left.
re-hit this part of the map.
20 วิ
Wow, big
ได้เวลาเล่นครับ
He's going to use the From the Shadows into a heaven and has been
Oh, he
revealed in the process. Cosmic
Fuck
Divide
you,
dropped on
love it.
site, Crashies picking up the first.
Yeah, but Angel
Big
in
ball.
Garden. He has a chance to catch Alphier
Ooh,
and
so
does.
But the plant is going to be safely now behind the
10
wall
seconds left.
from Boaster. Showstopper in from Alexic. No's denied it.
Yeah.
And
ไม่
with
วาง
that,
สักทีก็ต้อง
Navi
โดน
wipe the slate clean.
ทำโท
A
ษ
pay safe card thrifty, which has extended their lead.
Yeah, that feels like a hit and a miss for Fnatic. That should have been everything that was needed. It's the fact that they go for this long play and Navi just catch them off guard twice. Sure, once
Last player
the
standing.
first one's a spam, but sticking around too much.
Well done. Ruxic, very good comms, brother.
very good คอม
And really nice set of
ชมแค่นี้ยังไม่พอ มันต้องชมมากกว่านี้
กดไป22เหลือลุย
It's a nice time. Players towards that side.
เขาจดไปกี่เล่มแล้ว
Alexic.
เขาเรียกว่าคือทุกครั้งที่
Fairly high
มี
in
การ
terms
จับ
of
ไปที่
first
กล้อง
kill
หัว
per
คือ
round.
โค้ดกำลังคัด
Eighth
ไข่
highest. We have a lot of duelists,
คัด
I
กองไก่หน้า
suppose.
หนึ่งขอไข่หน้าหนึ่งไปหนึ่งฮอนคู่
It's more often than not the high first deaths that were costly.
Yeah.
How much are you getting? What's the exchange rate on that?
ใช่มันคัดไข่
Making their decisions, or what it seems to be making their decisions pretty quickly, but as they do, so do Navi. 3 to the strong towards B long, towards B site, and actually finding information off that deep prowler.
Yeah, it goes very deep though, and we know Chronicle was orbiting this place on the map. With the Viper's pit up towards A, Fnatic do have the tools if they wanted to clear it out with a Nightfall. They are just opting on this B play though. Still Kayak outside of showers does make you wonder, do they want to go through the TP? They have
โอ้
options.
40 วิแล้วน้อง เอา
And you
เต็ม
can
ทุ
see
ก
the
แมตช์
pings. This is going to be a
Cloud.
backside Armageddon from Alpha.
And Ruxic stuck, and Tube as well. So
Yeah,
his
เซนก็ไม่ต่างกัน
availability to try and escape from this is going to be extremely hard.
With no TPs either, so yeah, he has to
They-
just
they timing
fight this
up
one
20
forwards into the empty gap, no man's land. Quite literally, as Fnatic have still not hit the site, the null command is so well timed.
Oi,
A
ไม่
nightfall
เข้า
of
จริง
their
เหรอ
own from Navi, everything invested to turn the 12th
10 วิ
round,
ฮะ
and only 12
เอา
seconds
ยัง
or less to get the spike in. Angel and
seconds
Shao,
left.
the old-timer duo, rolling back the years against Fnatic to finish it here. Deny the plant, you win the round, and Boaster can't stick it. It's Angel instead. And that will be map point for NAVI.
That it will. And Fnatic, what do they have left in those back pockets? That's the question. Ultimates used, not finding the value. And once again, that question of how much utility is realistically going to be allowed even after the buy, if there is rifles in play.
Guys. They're just losing by time if we delay them good.
Exactly that. Especially in this ult cycle that we were just in very quickly. It's just the pit left from Chronicle. They've got to stagger that over the 4 rounds somehow. When you're thinking about win conditions, Fnatic
เฮ้ยรอบนี้ซิ่งว่ะ
removing the training weights straight towards the B
12
side.
แล้ว
NAVI aren't going to be able to stall them out for very long here with just Shout
แค่ตีไว
playing
ปุ๊บเนี่ย
offside.
ได้วางได้เล่นแล้วเนี่ยตอนนี้ดูดิ
And all of NAVI ready to go. And also on top of that, let's look at Electric on that late flank just before this execute comes in.
It's Boaster at the forefront right now though. Alpha in support. Ruxic has the first and Alexic moving inwards. Satchel peak to Kron but can't quite close the distance in time. NAVI down 2 players to 4, but if you can find kills like that untraded, maybe there would have been a chance. Alexic now needs a 2v1.
เขาเดินออกมามอบ
And
เฉย
spike planted
ก็รู้ว่า
towards
มา
VCT.
ข้างหลัง
Oh, it looked good, but it just misses out. Crashy's holding the cross.
Boaster down to 7. And Crashy's
เรื่อง
unconsidered.
นั้นเนี่ยลูกเมื่อกี้
Fnatic will get 3 more goes at this. Opportunities which NAVI have to close.
Plenty of opportunity. The operator will be brought out for the defence. I mean, the pace change from Fnatic so much better. Because Fnatic couldn't overcook, right? That was the big
Watch
point
your step.
coming out of that.
That they just make it as straightforward as possible, and we might just be seeing similar things towards A. Fnatic in the past always been so good at this split through showers. The drone will tag Electric, but not before he's drawn first blood. And Angel throwing himself into the flames will fall to Boaster.
Hey, well,
What was he up to there?
he's been very. His decision making has always been to try and hold on towards Shills himself, but Hero trying to hold on towards Lamb nearly has his light put out.
หมอเป้าก็โดนดิ
Fnatic closing the distance brilliantly, and here is that Viper's Pit, encircled all the way to the back of sight, and now NAVI with numbers. Alpha yet restoring order.
โดนวางหล
2
อก
players falling at his hands.
Spike planted.
And Alexic still trying to recover things with the op is the next to get laid
กระบอกนะ
waste
อัน
by
ตีหมดสิ
Alpha.
หมดสิกู้เลย
Live munition.
1 more to go, it's Ruxic. At the very least, he might have the element of surprise. It's this judge again.
Surely not, right?
Think so. And you'd be damn right. Double digits for Fnatic.
Yeah, I mean, right now, NAVI are falling into their own pitfalls quite a lot here. Like, the conditioning that they've set, Angel making priority always towards trying to take showers, and as he does so here, Boaster holds it down himself. And on top of that, we've got to be thinking of the constant flanks that NAVI keep going for. Just retake his 5.
NAVI now down onto an eco means that there's just 1 more rifle round separating the 2 teams. Fnatic should be cognizant of that fact. Probably looking to build Alpha's Armageddon here as well, if possible, but they've already got a stockpile of ults to work with.
Yeah, again, these Fnatic pace changes are looking good as once
เริ่มหลับ
they push this A site and just are winning duels.
Kayak drawing first blood, still has the showstopper, of course. Shao trying to make his way in the back line. But Alpha has already gotten onto this.
ปลม
And it's going to be as clean as you like from Fnatic to force the final round of regulation.
And in zone flawless to do so as well. And not only that, you were speaking about how Fnatic would want to build their ultimates into this last one. And will they have that Armageddon, as well as a showstopper and a cosmic divide? Crashy's 1 off of his Nightfall. All in, Fnatic, they should have every tool that they need to make this overtime.
Ultimate is ready.
Not wanting to go to
Enemy remain.
a deciding map. Couple weeks in a row. Fnatic.
นี่
Usually we
แพ้โอ
see
ที
them
นี่จิต
peaking
แตกสลายนะ
in the middle of the year.
เอาอีกแล้ว คัมแบ็กอีกแล้ว
It's into crunch
ตรงแบบ
time.
ตรงใช่จัด
Looking to put the pressure on
เป็น
with
แปดคัมแบ็ก
an alt TP through showers,
ดู
but one
EMEA
less player on the
ดู
B
ไม่ต้อง
side
เผื่อใจ
means the
อะไรเกิด
kayak
ขึ้น
on
ได้
the prowl
นั่นไง
would be looking for his
นี่
opener.
ไง
Can't collect
อุ้ย
it, but
เดินออกมาโดน
Cross
สแกน
through the reveal on site by Crashies is set up perfectly.
I mean, the Armageddon
It's gonna
forcing
cap-
players
Oh,
towards
keep
elbow
logging.
as well. And now NAVI have a different approach to the retake.
You are divided.
Fnatic still just not happy to rely and be resigned to the site. They
รวบ
have
เล
to
ย
fight elbow and they take it. Chronicle and Crashies leaving just the pair of youngsters to try and
เขาเรียก
undo
ว่าใช้ไปเรื่อย
what's been set against them. Hero begins it,
Kachim
but
Kachim.
Alexei can't finish it. Not in this 3 versus 1 stacked against him. The nade drops into elbow through the vent, but out of the round he
เป็น
goes.
เรื่อง
โอทีครับ
Overtime
จริงๆนะ หรือมันเป็นเทรนจริงๆวะพี่ไอ EMEA เนี่ย
คัมแบ็กนะ
หรือจริงๆเราควรจะดูวอตปาร์ตี้แบบใหม่ คือเราเปิดเจอ EMEA ฮะ เรามารอดู4 ราวสุดท้ายเดี๋ยว
รู้หมดเลย
คัมแบ็กกันอย่างเดียวเลยมึงจะเล่นเอาคุ้มไปไหนนะน้าเองหน้าเจือนเลยเมื่อกี้
Shutting them down.
Is there any more to be seen?
NAVI putting priority in gaining showers, probably to build up an ultimate of their own, and it seems as if it is going to be electrics.
Very aggressive on
Yeah.
both extremities to start. Angel's knife landing in garden. That set up hero for this late lurk. Showers control taken. And even more utility invested towards the A site to just chip away at Kron. See if they can bait the molly out of his hands, but he has not bitten for it.
Yeah, remember every single time on this defence he would find a corner in which to hold, and he
Down
doesn't
A.
quite get the second. Crashies,
Oh!
can't control it
แล้วน้าบ้าแล้ว
whatsoever.
ไง
And Angel
น้า
with
แบ
the
บ
double,
ไม่ไหวแล้วนะ
ไม่ไหวแล้วเว้ย
NAVI with the pivot,
Bà đó
and on
rồi.
towards the B side they go
Ui.
with Fnatic stand
Ủa, dân
strong,
thị- ơi!
ready to go.
โอ้โหเมื่อกี้ถ้ามันยิงนี่
Kayak
ตายเลยนะทะลุ
knocks them down.
Return to sender. Still a nade for him to use here, and Angel is low with the spike.
And that's the problem, right?
เห็นไหม
Kayak
เน็ต
escapes,
ขำๆ
him
ไป
and Poster
นิว
holding
ก้า
through. CT not wanting to give the
Yeah.
next pick
He
to
bought.
Fnatic, but Angel does,
Ah, but now-
and time becomes a real issue. That spike needs to
Let
go
me
down.
hero to cut.
Hero has to
That's
hop up
zombie.
on the ledge to grab it, so he's looking for
Bot
the
hit
fight.
Yeah, here we go. Through he goes, and
Yeah.
Kayak waiting.
Wait,
Advantage
Kayak, make it up.
Fnatic in overtime.
โอเค
Switching sides.
And it's looking like NAVI might just have let this one slip. Brilliant defensive work from Chronicle to start.
Enemy
But with Angel hitting haymakers, you thought that might just be enough to send them.
Say hi to your mom right now.
โยมม เสียหายโยมม
There you go. Kayak's
ขี้
mom
เกียจดีกว่าประเทศ
will be in good spirits,
Blow something up.
especially after the performance that both him and Alpha have been putting on here. 44 kills between the two.
ไปบุกเร็วอ่ะ
Navi
แฟนติก
Need to be careful as once again Fnatic are just keeping up with these pace
มันมีวินหนึ่
changes.
งมันบุก
And
อะ
the
มันก็วางตอนเว
corner
ลา
is
จะบุก
show. Does he get cleared?
มันบุกเร็วอ่ะ
Kayak is going to be
เข้ามาก่อนนะวินพี่
spammed by his own teammate Salvo, but it's a helpless
Oh,
task in the
hang
end
on.
out on site. No
Board.
trade. Boaster late from showers into the 50-50. He can't collect the right corner.
ดับเบิล
With
วอร์ที
Alexic
ครับ
finding that, it feels as if we are doomed to repeat. Unless Alpha and Crashies
I
can
have the
combine
spike.
against 5, with Angel already starting to close the distance.
Yeah, but is he going to give away another pick to Fnatic, or is he going to be keeping up with his fragging capabilities? It's going to be the latter.
ไปกันต่อ
It absolutely is. Oh, a little Overinvestment of the knife, perhaps, to just confirm that Crashies was there, and they'll know it now. Second check by the Horn.
เฮ้ยเฮ้ย
Not
เฮ้ย
enough time or
Hey, hey,
space to go
Oh.
with a gun in his hands.
Oh.
Ruxic,
Well,
the
Tam
equalizer,
Catchy,
and play continues.
Yeah,
Bob
it's
Bob,
another
eh,
two-round shootout between these two. It seems as if it's whoever can try and break the dominance of defence at the moment and overtime. Even though it was the opposite way round in regulation.
This would be such a huge one to win if you're NAVI as well. You look at the veto, in many ways it favours Fnatic
เน้นเลยครับ
front
รอ
to
บนี้
back. Bind is the joint
บอกต้อง
highest
เน้นแล้ว
win
อะ
rate they've had in their entire history as an organisation with Icebox. And with 4 map points lost, back to the drawing board, back to the attack side, and some early hookah control.
Concealment.
Aye, that's a big entry kill on towards Hero as he jump spots for Shower.
The macro from NAVI in the previous round as well heavily relied on Hero staying alive on the opposite extremity. Nice knife timing there from Angel.
Yeah, and not only that, look at Ruxic's position in hookah, he's still not been identified. That's going to be an issue if someone just walks into his line of sight, but it's long where the majority of the push comes from, and Fnatic deals with it.
Long play reinforced, and NAVI can't get the jump on
เรื่อง
Fnatic
หมดเลยรอบเนี้ย
in this first round of OT yet again. Ruxic has the paranoia. It would be effective if he sent it Garden Woods.
Oh, he sent it towards the side, that's an issue.
Down B.
เมื่อกี้น่าจะซ้ำ
Now
เรา
on
เลย
versus
ไม่
5,
รู้เหมือน
which
กัน
he
ผม
needs
รั
to
บ
clutch up. The highest challenge,
คัตจี้
and it's going to be an end zone flawless. Fnatic once again with the advantage in OT.
Building through these rounds brilliantly. Strong start from
What?
Kayak. And Boaster just doing his job backside with the supportive util. He's one of those guys who, as you said, been around since the beta, was making
พอเจอมันเข้าวงการทูสเตทเฉยงง
งงกว่าคือคาร์โมออกจากวงการอ่ะ
ของไม่ดีอ่ะ
รู้เลยเนี่ย
internationally famed
Có
in-game
xong rồi tràn rồi
leaders
đó.
who
Sắp xong rồi
hold on
tràn.
to global
Sắp xếp lại.
events. Angel is one of them and has done more than his fair share of time. 16 assists. In terms of how Na'Vi are finding success, it's kind of stemming from his utility quite a lot in setting up plays to be made.
Yeah.
And on this defender side, collecting that info with his knife.
Glass cannon up for Ruxic. He's positioned on B long, and once again that utility always spot on from Kron, gets it placed and creates a little bit of phantom pressure, which the Na'Vi, the defence's Omen will need to be careful of.
As you get to this stage in the round and things begin to develop, you're looking at Fnatic creating a deposit if they still have intentions of heading towards B, but right now the view does still feel like an A execution. With the primary focus showers, that's been spotted by Shao, and the spike is starting to make its way over.
There's crossfire on the initial part of the choke with
Oh,
Crash.
Kron not looking.
Shao towards Showers. That's a big kill from Angel, and that's more pressure
Oh,
on the push
oh,
from
yeah.
Fnatic.
Yeah, that has to be the reaction. Fake TP from Ruxic on
Yeah.
towards Showers, but
Yeah.
Fnatic
Well,
finds the
I'll
site
just dab
instead.
them.
Alexic 10 toes down
Hey,
on the corner.
Pao
He
mới
has
chạm
to
đó
stave
tao
them
biết.
off. If Na'Vi are to survive, A couple of kills might just be enough, but the rest must do their job.
รอเลือก
Yeah,
ก่อนไหม
remember, still glass
Thank you.
cannon up from heaven. Does Rixik realise this?
And we've got Angel approaching
That's fine.
late as
มัน
well.
ต้อง20 วิเป๊ะ
Into
ประมาณ
short,
20
so Rooksik's job. Oh, the
ๆ
flash
อุ้ย
has
แฟดลงพอดี
betrayed him.
ไอ้นะ
Just as
ต้องขอบ
much
คุ
as
ณ
we
นา
talked
แอง
it
เลย
up,
นะครับผมช็อต
that
นี้
was
นะ
the chance for Rooksik to strike. Hasn't spotted the cross from Boaster. The dagger hovering above their
เรียบร้อย
shoulders.
ดีครับ
ไอ้นะ
ต้องขอบคุณนาแองเลยนะช็อตนี้มันติดนะครับนาคนเดียวเลย
นาช่วยชีวิตพี่โบ๊ทไว้
มันชะตาขาดแล้วตอนแรกอ่ะ
กูเล่นคนที่ 6 ของเฟนติกเอ็งเจลไอ้นาแฟนบอสนาบอกยังก่อน อย่าไปซ้ำเขา
My mom is so happy, bro.
ไม่เป็นไร
Yeah, my mom is just pointing at me every time she sees me. Did everybody wave at Kayak's mom? It's mandatory, boys. You have to wave at her mom.
You wait.
Everybody wave, yes, boy, that's it. Yeah, so had it on camera, so she's mega happy now.
My mom is so happy เมื่อกี้คือเวลา VTR เข้าให้เบื้องหลังความสำเร็จของเฟนติกมีแองยืนอยู่ข้างหลังด้วย
Microphone muted.ทันครับ น่าจะ2-0คู่นี้ถ้าไม่มีอะไรผิดพลาดเพราะเอเซนเนี่ยเข้มอยู่
ผิดพลาดก็เท่ากับแมตช์เกม3นะกระบวนท่าของพี่วูดทำไมรอบนี้ว่าโลดูขายสกินปืนฉีดน้ำแบบฮาร์ดเซลยังน่าจะคิดว่าอันนี้มันคือแบบต้องมาแล้ววะสกินแม่งสวยสัตว์ได้ยินเสียงมวยอีกแล้ว
An enjoyable watch in comparison to the Tejo. I think he's a lot more self-sufficient in the sense that he's not having to set others up with that utility. He can just go and frag out, and that's what we know Alpha for. We know he's mechanically gifted. So yeah, keep an eye out for those kind of Vise traps as well. We've seen that Vise wall on short a few times that teams struggle with. When I'm thinking back to NAVI though, and the kind of composition that they were running on Ascent previously, it was that double Senti, but then they also had a Yoru in there. And I'm wondering, do they stick with that Yoru composition, considering this is an agent that Alexic hasn't really played in his career? I believe it's only been 17 times. So yeah, for me, it's just a question of what route to NAVI go round in order to make their Julius feel comfortable so he can shine as well.
Going back to sort of how NAVI could potentially counter this, Chamber is all about aim, right? You could have a really bad day on Chamber and not find any value, so they're just going to be having to save those flashes to sort of peak angles with them, I guess, and avoid walking into Alpha's crosshair.
Oh, they've just gone back to the classic. You can't get mad at Xiao back back on server as well. And speaking of, I think the linchpin to this is Crashies. The way the Crashies play on Ascent is so impossible to deal with, and I think that's probably what other teams have really struggled with.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think Crashies was a little quiet for me that previous map, but it wasn't until they started ramping some rounds up at the end that we really got to see the impact from him and Alpha's utility combined in some rounds, which was really nice. So yeah, I think for Crashies, we need to see him step up into this one, which as we do know, he is good on Ascent. He's great on this Sova, one of his most played agents in his career, so we expect him to shine.
Yeah, I definitely think as well, coming into this map off the back of that unfortunate Angel flash and him coming back into that KO, I think he's going to be determined not to make the same mistakes again. So I do think this is a really convincing attack composition for Navi, as long as they're using their utility to sort of support that. Again, I look to that hero as well to find the Zerg on attack. We know how incredible he is as a Sentinel player, and I think him finding value on potentially some of those mid plays, making sure that he's anchoring those sites and doing everything a Sentinel should do and more. You know, we look to Hero a lot in sometimes when Navi are down to kind of pick them back up, I guess, and pop on a star-studded performance as Hero we know he can do.
I'm glad you pointed out Hero because, of course, we saw him on that Viper the previous map, and it's true what you're saying. The Cypher, you know, he can shine on this role. I think as well, before this game started, we kind of didn't get to touch on Ruxic and Hero. I did kind of mention them towards the end, that these are the players that can kind of bring Navi up in those moments, and Ruxic was having a great performance on Bind, so hopefully he can continue that onto Ascent.
Yeah, the fact that Angels played more Reyna on this map than KO is very unsurprising, but his debut on KO here on Ascent, Hazard and Kara, let's hope for a redemption arc.
That's what we're exactly here to see. Everyone will want to see a decider. Perhaps the majority of the crowd would attest to that. However, I have to say, looking at Navi's recent vetoes, they floated Ascent into the final wave of map bans. For the last 2 weeks against both Apex and Liquid, it's been left in here. Fnatic have been given the option to choose into it. It's one which they've taken quite happily.
Yeah, they have, and obviously we look towards what is... Look at in terms of the agent select as well, obviously Navi moving away from that double Senti and how they like to play the map through that. But obviously Fnatic still sticking with it as well.
And Alexic on the jet, empowering his own performance, which looked a lot better than last week on Bind. Got off to a great start on a number of rounds, but we need to see that continued traction heading forwards if Navi are to succeed the same way. He doesn't have to necessarily find that first pick himself, as long as it's either one of him and Angel. They had a great partnership trading off of one another on Bind, but it is Ascent now. And with it being so fundamentally demanding, a real stress test of your team, your communication, those fundamentals, Fnatic are the most difficult of foes to face.
Yeah, they are arguably one of the best fundamental teams on what is the most fundamentally demanding map in all of the map pool at the moment. And we're going to have it right here, right now for map number 2. Fnatic could close out the series right here. Or Navi could send us to map 3.
So into Ascent we go. Fnatic starting out on the defense with a double Senti twist of their own. Alpha and Kron towards the A side of the map right now, as is the spike for Navi. But proceedings begin with the drone in main and Kayak playing in front of it.
Yeah, being aggressive, taking that entry pick, and now Navi being quick to now move on the A side where that vice setup is.
Not only is it Angel there first, it's both of their initiators elsewhere, so getting in past this vice util is a torrid task. Fnatic finding a couple, Alexic dashed the wall, finally Navi are in with their feet planted and the spike as well.
Yeah, and look at the utility set up already by the side. To be careful when moving back in, but 2 players to the good. All they need to do is trade out to a finish.
If Ruxic decides to fight towards heaven, he is going to get a 1 versus 1. The dart has revealed heroes. Much as his trap will do the same. You're asking too much of the frenzy push to the corner here. Fnatic with their first pistol round in this series on Ascent.
มันดูส่งของดิพี่แฟดแล้วก็ดีคอนสเต็ปเดิมเลย
Rather than Fnatic playing really well, it was more Navi getting caught off guard. Look at some of these engagements, especially the execute, the initial execute on A.
Sit down!
ปิดยาว
Angel is sat.
I gave you a pistol, Austin.
Thank you very much, Scott. Yeah, I agree. I think the difference is when Angel's going down on KO now, you're losing a lot of valuable utility.
Yes.
We know about Angel and him going walkies, left off of the leash.
Yeah, but he's been very good this year at not doing that.
Remember Jack Igo was giving away bundles for every like 5 first deaths or something that he had?
I mean, he was giving away a lot this year.
He was. I heard that he might also have Riot buddies if you DM him on Twitter, jokes aside. There's quite a few pistols in this Fnatic anti-eco. And for NAVI, they've already found their first jewel.
Okay. I found the next floor. And it's a win for Fnatic's way.
แต่วันนี้จัดให้ไว
Yeah, that's the best way it possibly could have gone. And not only that, it's the fact that 3 rifles go through
แต่
to
ตั้ง
the
แต่สเตจ
next.
2 มาโบสไม่ค่อยติดตลกเลย
Possibility
เวลาก่อนจบ
of upgrading, which will be a dangerous
เอาจริงไงเน้นเดี๋ยวไม่ได้ไปแชมเปี้ยน
Yep, NAVI to kick off Bind, of course. One, the pistol, anti-eco, and the bonus. Fnatic looking to try and do some of the same here. Have bought up 2 stingers, in fact.
Yeah, usually you see a buy like the round previous and you think, oh, it's just going to be a rifle. Upgrades. Instead, no, stingers instead. And Pizza is fully loaded at the minute.
Both players with TPs getting suppressed, so no way out.
This is becoming a real issue as NAVI continue their assault through and towards market. But Fnatic can't buy themselves
ใจ
out
มันรัก
of
ที่
this
จะยิง
round.
มากๆเอาไป
นับ
เยอะ
ไวครับ
NAVI answer straight back.
It'll be interesting to see as well what Fnatic choose to do in terms of their setups and where they're placing that trademark and vice wall. There's a mental game to be had with the ground that NAVI will look to take, and in that round it is just a collapse into mid. This is the first rifle that we see between the teams, and in terms of the placement, it is again on either main of the map, and Fnatic actually move away from the mid engagement, saying that 2 players short.
Yeah, I was going to say, and Kayak's ready to walk right out. Although punished
unlucky.
for it. Angel getting lucky with a educated guess through the smoke.
เดี๋ยวแคชเชียร์ให้หมดเลย
Crashes now taking up position in market.
The flash from Chronicle, not sure if it quite sets up
ยาก
the market player here or
น่า
not.
จะโดนพารานอยแล้ว
ใช่มันการพารานอยรอแล้ว
As you can see, Boaster has also moved into position from spawn.
And Rooksik still has that paranoia, which is going to be very key for clearing market.
ไม่จะมีคนมาคอส
And all of the Sentinel utility is up, so Fnatic can remain resolute in positioning, but there is the flash. It's Chronicle.
โอ้โคตรส
Gonna
วยอ่ะ
nip it in the bud first.
มีคนอีเคิล
The spike lost. Both sides on either side of this smoke.
Yeah, NAVI managing to break down. What was the crossfire? Chasing them
หลังในหลังในหลังในหลัง
Hero left in a 1 versus 1, which you know you could depend upon him.
It gets incredibly scrappy. Kron did have the supportive util there. Fnatic's setup had a spanner thrown into the works when you looked at how NAVI wanted to close the gap. This was a nice start from Angel. He's been good for it up until this point. Alpha also taking a timing, but as I said, very, very scrappy. But NAVI won't care. That's a tied game, and the economy at their advantage.
This is a nice spot.
Outlaw being bought out for Roxic. He loves these scoped weapons, and obviously a very good weapon for the anti-eco, and keeping away from the stingers that Fnatic want NAVI to be in the close quarters.
Yeah, Fnatic on Ascent is not something that we had seen all too much, especially between these teams specifically, but you'll be interested to know, another little nugget from the Spike Drop podcast, that Boaster had actually taken this comp from the DAC League.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I don't know what team you thought that might have been.
I would imagine someone like a Focus.
No, Team Orange Gaming, because it's the only map that they were able to win. So it'd been adapted to VCT and has worked very well for them. Here is the short trademark. As NAVI haven't really been running into this utility all too much up until this point. Now they have.
Yeah. And the thing that Navi need to be careful of is look at Alpha here, hiding in the corner up on Heaven. Fnatic make the play in towards the site, but, well, Alexic has been undefeatable, it seems, in these first engagements.
Yeah. A much needed improvement from him. And the jet pick is only going to compound that. An agent which you see him on a
แบ
lot.
บแรกก็ M8 คัมแบ็กไง
With a rifle in his hands, most importantly. NAVI opting for an op a lot of the time before. But sometimes just being a little bit more mobile is exactly what is needed. Chronicle gets the jump with his drive-by on the Stinger. But NAVI have their round and the lead in this map.
These early rifle rounds are a good look overall for Navi, being able to create big leads, right, or start to gain momentum at the very least.
And we know they have the potential to take on any team really in these rifle rounds. We saw how the stat had been skewed in the opening couple of weeks from 80% all the way down to 40. But here's another.
I mean, well, those ultimates, well, 3 of which are online for Navi, realistically, there's nothing that you would really say are immediate uses, whereas on the other side, Fnatic have some really key retake ultimates.
That's why you're probably looking at Angel picking up the orb here in main and getting the null command online, because that's going to shut off everything from Chronicle.
And realistically, you want to use that ultimate in post.
Might even be able to catch the TP, but no, Kayak has arrived on the scene, and NAVI, it's a stunted start.
เอาวาร์ปเลยวะ
And at the same time, Navi have made the quick pivot on towards B. Hero is gaining a lot of space through main, and they're still to identify, hey, is this B site open as Ruxic is still stuck in Boathouse?
But has got the plant in now, and
Mail,
Fnatic
sorry,
still
nah.
not yet taking up the option to flood. They've been stopped at the gates by Hero.
Yeah, and Navi very late to this, but I mean, at the same time, Fnatic are slow on their uptake on the retake.
It's like both teams are playing from the barriers yet again. As Kayak played in by the util, forced to respect the dart on the other side, but none shown to his elder as Angel is removed from the server very quickly. 4 on 3, Fnatic now favoured, but time playing against them on the defence of all things. Smoke placed in their face with Shao removed from main. Things start to get a little better, but Ruxic still yet to be claimed. Time is low, there's not much of it. I don't know that Crashies has this one. It's going to go all the way down to the wire. And it's Navi that come out on top. A massive move for Navi to get over the line, considering what was invested from Fnatic. Hunter's Fury, Steel Guardian from Chronicle.
ว่าเผ็ดเหรอเฮ้ยอยากกินว่าเผ็ด
แล้วแบบเขาทำใส่ไข่ใส่ไก่จีน
Even
ใส่ไก่
there,
ย่าง
the
มา
first kill.
ใส่ไก่ย่าง
Blind Kron still able to find the entry on Alexic. You thought they'd struggle to make the pivot, and even when they get to the B site, there's no player left to tell the tale. Fnatic now down onto a mixed buy.
Yeah, there's a couple of hero rifles in the mix, and this tour de force is going to be the big thing that can push Fnatic over the line.
Exactly. NAVI have already identified it though. Alpha can TP to support the B play.
I mean, there's going to be no tour de force anymore.
Great use of the null command to just bustle their way into B, and Alexic moving through Fnatic at pace.
หรือว่า
Slicing them in half. Alpha gets one from the classic of all guns, and Kron back with 2. All of a sudden there's a round to be had.
Yeah, and both players have rifles.
Oh, Ruxic's been spotted on the edge of the smoke. Not like this again. Omen the Omen. He's given up the site. Mosa can cover the spike and work on the defuse.
Oh, he's just going to stick this.
Across the halfway point already. Ruxic holding his nose.
โอ้จะเสร็จอยู่แล้ว
Comes off it. Couldn't hold his nerve.
อีวันนี้แค่เชี่ยววิเอง
And we'll best him yet again.
อะไร
I wonder when does the coaching staff of Fnatic go for the timeout? And well, very quickly we'll get our answer as soon as we come out of the replays. Yeah, entirely close. I thought for a minute Ruxic was maybe leaving this a little too
ใจไม่นิ่งเลยงี้ไปเจอจอนนี่สู้ไม่ได้นะ
They just need to finally start these some of these retakes that they keep getting themselves into.
Well, it's EMEA's El Clasico for a reason. 243 years of age. There's Boaster, one of the senior members on the Fnatic squad. He's forced to drop back to short as NAVI are ready to make a move on A, and he gets caught by Rooksig.
Yep. Well, at the same time though, NAVI activate the wall, distract him. Fnatic still look at the space. He's got another.
And there's a player revealed on site. Rooksig trying to close the net.
Chronicle
to fight the good fight, and he certainly
เกือบได้
can.
ตัวสาม
Two more. Still might not be enough.
Yeah, and continued delay here
Spike planted.
as NAVI look to reinforce that site. Door dropped. There's a trap on the other side, and Fnatic
คอมนาวีมันมีอะไรวะมันก็คอมดีฟอลต์ใช่ไหม
Alpha was just
ทำไม
searching
เฟอร์นาติก
for
มัน
it.
กันไม่ได้วะ
Crashies looking to set up a reveal perhaps for Alpha to find a shot.
เฮ้ยปลายปืนโหด
Suppression might just have caught him there, and Angel has finished
โดน
things.
นะแองตะแปมตายหาไปเลย
Yeah, it's probably looking at another save, yet trying to get the op back, which Crashes will do. And Navi confirms 6. I mean, the momentum at the moment is something that Navi seems to be very good at identifying, but the hunt from Hero denies any sort of capability in the next round.
Yeah, to be going on the offensive as well, especially. Look at the way that Rooksig just puffs his chest out and blindly runs through Garden. Finding 2 kills, and Hero, this is the cherry on top. Fnatic have next to nothing to work with here, but we've already seen how the game can flip.
It's most interesting that after a timeout we haven't seen Fnatic get the value that
มันไป
they
พลาด
usually
มันไป
do.
พลาดวินตรงที่ไม่ควรพลาดเยอะอะที่มันนัวกันตรงกลาง
Althea
เป็น
has
สำคัญอะ
approached from short this time round. Crashies being in a much more forward line than what he usually is through market.
โอ้ไม่ทันทีนึ
And
ง
the knife timings
โอ้ทันปล่อย
from
ทีนึง
Angel up until this point have been perfect. There's both Sentinels caught there, and Rooksig punishing the extension from Alpha, yeah.
Navi just waiting for Fnatic to move. Looking at that B main space that the defense currently hold on to at the minute. Navi finally start to make inroads and map control. It seems like they want to go through A shot, but that flash didn't hit, and Fnatic didn't get the information they were looking for.
Hayek has also dropped the TP out of B, so can start to move away from things here if necessary. Essentially though, Chronicle is all by himself, resting on his laurels. Will have the wall to slow this push. And time is dwindling if you're Navi.
Yeah, they need to start to make a decision. Angel needs to be careful as he's all the way up market, and 2, maybe even 3 players close by as he walks into the crossfire. Crashes will be able to get rid of them. Oh, but
ตอนที่ว่ามาอยู่ในโซนอันตรายที่สุด
the attack is making its way
โบได้ปืน
through.
ไง
Alexic
แต่
needs
แอง
to
ชอบเอา
hit.
เฟ
He
รมอยู่
will
ในโซน
do.
อะไร
And now Poster trying to
คนเดียว
deny
ด้วย
the spike again.
อุ้ยไม่
But
ตาย
he
เฉย
just can't quite. It's all chip damage in the end.
And there's nothing to stop Navi
remaining.
พี่โบท
from running their way through the middle of the map, the belly of the beast and onto B. Alexic spots Kron. The knives won't
หลบ
land.
ในจริงด้วยนี่หว่าเมื่อ
But
กี้
this
อ
is
เล็ก
now 7 rounds secured.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about the decision making. I'll be completely honest.
That's true.
But it's not about how you win the round.
แต่ต้องดูนาวีมันแก้มายัง
Navi
Navi
are going to get 7.
Angel, the OG shaky aim. Forget Asuna. Onk still got it. An important kill that he picks out, and yeah, they just need to be aware of crashes in that market position because he's found himself here a couple of times. Nice outlaw usage to stop Alpha from really getting online here, as this was one of his best in Toronto when we're speaking of that uptick, that trend of form from him with the slight slump at the start of stage 1, now looking like he's back in prime time with the op in this next rifle round.
7 วินรวดเลยเหรอ
Here.
Navi managing to once again take that B main, and it seems as if Boaster wanted to get caught by the knife there. Give information that he's towards the A side.
Oh, so he's broke the cam
by accident as well.
Well, there is no cam. Of course, he's not broken it. I'm confused, man. I'm fried. I've seen too much Sova utility this week to survive a lifetime.
Kayak though, forward line.
Portal
Trying to play a little
นี่
off
ขจักเอา
angle.
ไป2ครับ
Navi want him to walk into their position.
มีถึง
พี่ว่ามัน
4
No
พี่ว่ามันจะมีคนนับวิ
either, but you're just waiting for
นับ
that
วิ
util.
เอวาร์ปอยู่รู้ป่ะ
Clear.
นี่อ่ะ
Perfectly
ไปอ่ะ
timed from Kayak.
ขจักเอาไป2
And from VCT,
เป้าไปโคตร
finally
ที
he
เลย
feeds.
เป้าดูด
Twice the numbers for Fnatic and a wall in the face of Navi.
ก็ทำไมโดนสแกน
Rolled
เอาไป
out,
4
Croyd,
Hmm,
looks
พี่
to
โคอีก
finish
2
it out. That'll be Fnatic's third round finally, after what was a fairly dominant run of rounds from
เฮ้ยอัลฟา
Navi.
ทำหน้าให้มันดีๆหน่อยเดี๋ยวเขารู้ว่าเสียความมั่นใจ
อยู่มันงอนโบสอยู่
But in
งอน
terms of
งอนโบส
the
โบสบอกให้
rounds,
ซีดาว
it's looking a lot better for Fnatic. Reasons to be happy. Well played from Kron.
Down.
He has been the face of the resistance here. Taking a look at the Vice lineup. Very nice. Going to be able to stall out the A player a little bit more, and that's what you want. You want Kayak playing in front of the Sentinel utility, finding picks, dipping off, and having a second layer to drop back to.
Look at this time, well, Fnatic, they're so lax when it comes to the mid control. Alpha pushed to the corner. Navi tried to clear him out, successful in doing so. And well, Kayak has control of A main. Is Navi trying to push towards heaven? Is it to be nice? Certainly not. Is Fnatic deal with any push coming their way? Spike on the ground and around to be
โบสเอาให้อ่ะ
recollected, retried. I
โคตรคม
don't
เลยครับ
know. Navi left scratching their head as everything's gone
Power
wrong.
แน่นอนปะ
And Kayak
เป้า
wants
มัน
to
เหมือน
make
เป้ามัน
knows
ดูดหัว
exactly where the last
ไม่ต้องทำอย่างนั้น
remaining
เลย
player
หรอ
is.
ต้อง
We're
ทำนี่
not going to see a hero 1v3 this
ไม่
time.
ต้อง
Fnatic won't make those kinds of mistakes.
เอาชัวร์เอาชัวร์
It was
มัน
a
ล้านลาว
very
แล้ว
nicely set up
ยัง
round
ไม่เนี่ยรัดเรา
and a deep lying hold
เจ็บมันใช้วินนี้
which has brought the black and orange back into voice.
เมื่อกี้แบบ
Into the final round
อ
of
ยู่
the
ในอวย
half.
อ่ะ
Angel
ก็
is
คือ
moving
ว่าหมูอยู่ใน
on,
อวยอ่ะแต่ว่าแบบกด
but
อันติ
without
ไทยอ่ะ
premium weaponry.
เขาอยากเอา
This
จิ
is
ว
where we
ทัวร์
see
เปล่า
the
พี่
adaptation now. It
สาม
is
คนไง
both bits of Sentinel utility
เหตุ
placed
การณ์
in shore.
มันมีให้เห็น
Navi will have to clear out each and every
ประสบ
one
การ
of
ณ์จะหล่อหลอม
them
ก็
if
ได้
they want to
มัน
force
จะได้
this lane.
Yeah, we've seen this before from Fnatic.
พี่โบสสั่งเฮ้ยคันตีไปแล้วชัวร์
B main at the
ก็
same
ต้อง
เดี๋ยวก็เสียวิน
time, giving Navi this A main space
ปอมี
so
ทั้ง
they can get
เขต
on
ม้าคืออะไรอ่ะ
to a deep lane and get Crash's his ultimate.
ทำไมไม่แบ่งมาหน้าเอง
It's going to be the null commando. Alpha still
เออ
wanting
มัน
another
ดู
roll
งง
on
ว่ะ
it, and this time
งง
successful.
เลยมันเอามาล่อป่ะ
Mexico flooding through the
แต่ไม่เป็นไร
smoke.
ได้ละ
Alpha and Heaven, a match
บอกไม่ใช่บอกไม่ต้องงงไม่ต้องงง
quite
นี่
literally
จริงอยู่นี่
เกมนี้เขาใช้ปืนเขาไม่ให้ยูทิวกันใช่ไหม
ได้
Plant now coming in. Fnatic setting up the retake. Steel Guard and Hunter's
เสียง
Fury
วาง
both
ปุ๊บอะสติลการ์เด้น
available.
ขึ้นแน่นอน
แต่ว่าคนนี้เขาโดนสแปมทะลุสโมกตายก่อน
เออยิงเยอะ
Still, though, that spike not being
ไอ้
committed
ลูก
just
ศิษย์มันรอ
yet.
อยู่
And
ไง
you know,
แล้วมันรอ
that
อะไรอยู่
Fnatic
หรือเปล่า
are waiting for that notification to hit the
นี่
go
ไง
button.
แต่จัก
Kayak
มาป
though
กป้อง
denies Ruxic's life.
The
Mày
Ops
don't
now
hoàng.
coming back in, landing
Ủa,
on
lì la
the
nát
job.
ná.
His life
Lì la hả?
removed and Hero sussed out of the situation. No spike.
ฮีโร่บอก
no
โอ้
hope.
ตายดีกว่า
Angel was looking for the knife timing to stop the retake, but placed it a little early.
พี่โบ๊ทแม่ง
Fnatic a few steps ahead. They'll
เฮ้ย
sit
เหลี่ยมมัน
behind it.
ทะลุเลยเหรอ
ทะลุพี่ทะลุ
ต่างเจอพวกชอบรัดช็อตเอาโอดินมันนั่งกอกเลยว่ะป้อขจักเลย
เป้ามันเหมือนแบบ มันมี
มาจาก
โปรแกรมอะไรที่ทำให้มันเด้งเข้าหัวนะมันแบบมันวุบเข้าไปเลยอัลเจอร์ออเดอร์ฟูลลิส2,000 คิวเอาฟัเจอร์ดิแต่อาจจะเป็นเดิร์กก็ได้นะช่วงนี้เดิร์กมันกำลังเดือดแล้วเดิร์กมี2 คนเนี่ยเขาจะนับเป็น2 อันนี้ปะ เอามารวมกัน
2 เดิร์กเฉย
2 เดิร์กเอาสเตตมารวมกันไงขจักน่าจะดูพิมมี่มาตอนบ่ายแล้วแบบเฮ้ยไม่อยากให้เหตุการณ์แบบนี้เกิดขึ้นว่ะเอาทัวร์แล้วกัน
อัลฟาเล่นภาพ two state
Was the conversation about sandbagging, what they're showing, what they're not. In stage 2 here, they've already shown 5 out of the 7 maps. Sort of still waiting to see that corrode, but for now it's Ascent, the tried and true. Alexic and Pistols had been a potent blend up until this point. Nothing going for now.
Angel needs to be careful, put under pressure. Ruxic traded out quite evenly at the minute. I don't know if that Omen will probably be a big loss for NAVI if they do try and attempt a retake, but Angel reinvestigating. The ghost not really hitting, finally it does, and it will take out Alpha.
Very committed position from him, especially with Boaster closing things up from main. Fnatic looking to make it back-to-back pistols, but it's a 3-on-3 situation. Navi fully retaking from short.
That is, the Arc Row's not going off, but Chronicles Ghost is. 2 versus 2, and Boaster and Kron have a crossfire which they can work with. Boaster was wondering about a retake coming on a plate flank. Instead, no, it doesn't work out. Kron's Ghost certainly has been down to a 1 versus 1. Shao solo. It would take 1 bullet from the captain, from the IGL, and he's dancing around with them.
Brilliant.
It's unbelievable. And he's got the round it's needed. A big clutch from Boaster.
We talked about him at the top of the half, and that's exactly why. The contributions don't always come through the calls, but the clutching ability is something that he has diligently spent a lot of time on. This one, just the smoke to flood out around the corner.
Well played, Jake, well played.
The tamest of hand taps from Scott that you might see. But it has closed the gap all the way up.
Well, once again, 3 rifles in the mix for Fnatic. Alpha with his Marshall. I mean, look at the amount of bodies outside mid at the moment.
We've got here Angel breaking the door just in case the A play is made so that Short can fight him from wherever.
เหมือนเดิมอ่ะ
About to go
อันนี้
off with a
เขารู้หมด
bang.
แล้วเนี่ยดูดิวะ
And it's Fnatic.
รู้แต่ก็ทำไม่ได้
Fireworks.
นี่ไง รู้แต่เจอคัดจักร
So
ไป
flawless. Hey, what better way to keep it going, right? And if you really want to, if you have the cash in the back pocket, Bolster can maybe
เอลติกมันคงแบบรู้แล้วไง
That's exactly going to be the case.
ได้ทุกท่าครับไม่ต้องพีนก็ได้
Essentially a 5 versus
ออกมาถ้า
5
ยิงมันก็โดนสโลว์เลยตายเลยอ่ะ
And Navi need to be careful with how they
เหมือน
navigate
ดอ
this
25
one.
นัด
It looks like they are opting for a slightly heavier mid setup in terms of what we get at the barrier.
ต่อ
Short
ต้านไม่
and
ได้เลย
market
คือ
side.
ต้องมอบอย่างนี้หรอ
As well as that, the traps that we are getting from Hero, both basically towards short.
It's a full trap play in market, in fact. Angel only started from short so he could throw the
เหมือน
knife
เดิม
towards tiles. We do have the Cypher util on A,
คอนโทร
like
ล
I
นี่
said.
ช็อต
and
บายเทรดมาร์ก
They might just got to manage
เสร็
to
จ
get
มา
this
ก็เดี๋ยว
one
มัน
correct.
อิมแพคขนาดนี้
It seems to be the case.
แล้วค่อยดูแพท
Who's taking contact here?
แล้วดูเคยดูแพทหน้ามันวางก็จะเดินไปไหนก็ได้สบายแล้ว
But it's not going to be the case. The paranoia goes out. At least Rook's
เจอ
able
ป๊อป
to
ปิ้น
win that initial.
เฮ้ยนาย
Angel's really blind.
โอ้โห
Bolster winning out.
What was that?
การโดนบ่ายมันทำให้คนเราเป็นขนาดนั้นเลยพี่หนาแม่งกระโดด
He will bide his time, not overplaying his hand. This is a huge swing round for Fnatic to take. It would be yet another bonus.
นาวีแม่งโดนกับแบง
Discipline and the patience from Fnatic is
มันอุตส่าห์ตีได้ตั้งเยอะ
exemplary. The way they're able to cut
มันอุตส่าห์
noise,
ตีได้ตั้ง
make
เยอะ
their
นะพี่
opponents
จะกันไม่อยู่
sweat.
จริง
And
นะ
NAVI have next to no information
30
at the end of the day. Hero
เพราะ
trying
มัน
to take the next
ค่อยๆไป
engagement.
ไปยึด
and
พื้น
it's
ที่
just
เรื่อยๆ
Bolster
ฮะ
here.
ฝ่ายพาวเวอร์
Happy
สู้
to
ไม่ได้ก็
take that
รอโดน
late
เฮ้ย
positioning. Not yet scaling into spawn. In fact, he'll TP back and force
Tony.
Hero to clear this. But
อะไรทำให้มันไม่
Alpha
เช็ค
lazily walking into the line means that Shao punishes 10
ใครๆก็
seconds.
ไม่เช็ค
Yeah, Alexic now trying to hold on to backside so we can deny the spike plan if it's to be attempted. But in the smoke, does so. I don't think there's enough time here.
There isn't. Oh, what? Wait, no, okay. Bolster didn't have it. Should have trusted my gut.
แต่แม่งให้ซะไว
A
เล
little
ย
delayed, but
ให้เวอร์
Alexic
ไปว่ะช็อตเนี้ย
has done the work necessary and laid the foundation for Navi back into this. The second time they deny a Fnatic bonus in this map.
It's a big one. Advantage regained by Navi. Coming out of that. Damage done in the economy. Still stay in that swing round.
There's like a tenth of a second in it. As Alpha brings out the outlaw here, Angel the only target who could find himself in trouble, but how many times have we found ourselves saying that?
Same opening from Fnatic every single time. I think the audible would have been helped by the TP.
And it's Roxy's judge in short.
Yeah, they're moving straight into it, and the drone's going through market instead. At least there's a TP out for Alpha.
Mid engagement's been so heavy-handed,
Oh,
but Alexic finds crashes, and with the spike
เฮ้ยมันได้
down
เถียงว่ะ
in the
เด้ง
middle
เฉ
of
ยเลยกำลั
nowhere.
งแบบ
This is
โอ
getting
เคอยู่
bloody.
ที่ตอนแรกอะ
Fnatic have so much to do to take this back. Navi need to show
Đi nó
some
mới phí.
discipline from this position.
เดี๋ยวสองตัวยิงครับ
Alpha has got the spike back, but not collected it just yet. Waiting to see if he can truly do it.
Teleport's ready.
Heroes
Well,
also
Bob,
just
we do it.
placed a
Hey!
deep trap in B main. Already
Save
has
that.
one covering market.
Does Alpha think he's got the spike?
I don't think so.
He's walked away
Fnatic.
from it anyway.
30 seconds
Fnatic
left.
here, looking like they will just be opting to run the time
ไอ้
all
ระ
the
บบ
way
เซฟนี่มัน
down
ทำให้
and
คน
call
ดู
for a
ไม่ค่อยมัน
save
เหมือนกันนะ
because
มันเสียเว
Navi's
ลา
strength on the sites still
แบบ
in play.
ไอ้ระบบการเซฟอะสมมติแม่ง
Sentinel utility
มาถึง
still up.
10 วิแรกโถมไซส์เพื่อนตาย
With
3
nine
หม
now
ดแม่งเซฟ
confirmed,
เลย
you
รอ
kinda
เป็นนา
need
ที
those
เลย
rifles if you're
10 seconds
Fnatic
left.
heading into the next couple. Should be just about enough money beneath them to force
น่า
back
จะมี
into
วิ
the
ธี
next.
ทำอะไร
In
สักอย่าง
terms of what Navi
ระบบ
did
กลับไปอยู่
well,
บ้านแล้วกดโหวตจบ
it was a big
Jump
one
hair.
versus
นี่มัน
one
ก็โดนล่าไม่ได้
between the IGLs, which was
ก็
just
ตัดไป
caught
เลย
off camera.
ให้แม่งบังคับให้แม่งไม่เซฟอะ
Yeah, I
ต้อง
agree,
ตาย
but
หมดแต่ได้เงิน
I
เยอะ
think
เท่าเดิม
it's- well, and not to be the guy that says it, but like Fnatic feeling like the makers of their own demise there. I mean, this round and the
ถ้ามีอบิ
last,
ดก็ดีอะ G2 แม่งโดด
just
เฮลไปเลย
walking in, giving free engagements to Navi,
ไม่มีแมป3ครับ
just not
ไม่
considering
มีแบบ3
what could potentially go wrong. I mean, it's been a same opening every single time. 3 players walking from top mid through down all the way to even market. This time the approach has been changed. It will be B main that the players walk through. The hit squad of Alpha and Kayak. That wasn't Kayak, it's Kron, sorry.
And you can see that Fnatic are playing almost exclusively through the
แรงจัง
2 hero rifles here. They help themselves to from the previous. Alexic does spot Kayak, but that's all. Perhaps a slight tell as Na'Vi begin to reinvestigate mid. The dart shot out in B main. The defense creeping ever closer.
Seemed to be the case, but after Na'Vi having a glimpse, they've seen enough and back off.
Thinking about Fnatic's own reaction on the map and the ground that they feel they have to take. Not anything too indicative shown just yet, as B is fortified with 2, almost 3 players and all the Sentinel utility. A last-ditch attempt from Fnatic, the type of Valorant we've come to know from them in recent times. This to stop 10.
Still those delay. Still Fnatic stuck outside in main. Yeah, Kayak gets the entry, but Alexic, I mean, ready to come in through CT with the blue.
อุ้ยอเล็กปลาตัวหน้ามันโดนตัวหลังตายเฉย
It's worked out though.
วัดอลักกี้กาย
Well, he's trying to spam crashes. It's just not worked out. That will be double digits.
Fnatic not coming in with all of the tools, but the ones which they did hold on to didn't feel like the plan was executed in the way that they wanted to. Pressure not created. It was a shot from the hip from Alexic. And then the first of his blades finds a target straight through smoke.
ทำไมวินมันคู่คิด
Now
จังเลย
sitting
นี่หอยอะไร
at the top.
แต่ออกอะไรก็ออกเป็นใจหมดเลย
มันปาตัวหน้าไปโดนตัวหลังตายมีดเล่มเดียวงงว่ะ ไม่มีแบบ3
This the biggest round of the map so far.
หลังกองเขียวอ่ะลูกนี้
This is an aggressive play though, and Kron is looking for the lineup instead.
โอ้โห
And the time is key as well. Bosa mid TP flashed out behind them. Sprays for 1 but can't transfer to take 2. Kayak in the back lines.
เฮ้ย Fnatic จะแพ้
Able to
Ascending อ่ะเนี่ย
restore order somewhat and open up the A play with Crashy supporting. And Alpha
นี่อ่ะ
from top middle. Fnatic have done all that was required up until this point. But it's a familiar face that could still find yet another of the miracles we've come to expect from him.
เฮ้ยคนนี้เข้า
Cage in the back pocket. That's a way to get onto site, but it's whether Fnatic gives him the 1 versus 1s, gives him the engagements that he can win.
Crashy's playing late from short with the ult if needed. Kayak, the contact, the cage is opened. Hero on top of Gen, drops down. He's been heard. Time pressure becoming a factor as Crashies has repositioned with the dart. There's just so much to try and claw back at in this war of attrition. Rigged against Hero. Alpha has his, as do Fnatic. It was a blistering start to the round.
It is, and I think the most important jewel throughout all of this is when they try to reclaim Angel's KO.
พี่โบ๊ทบอกเกิดเรื่องอะไรขึ้นวะ
And it's almost like Boaster was waiting for that play.
เอ้าหนึ่ง
Good what?
Good shit indeed. It's 8 rounds now. And just the two between the teams as Alpha brings out the attack side of a big exchange about to go down in middle.
Electric wants to take that forward lane. He's getting shot
Alec.
at and unfortunately not collected. Even able to escape.
โอ้ไปเลยครับ
That's Kayak, hello? How far ahead is he?
What? And how much further does he want to take it?
It seems like he's going to be re-cleared by the drone.
Position ping. Alpha placing the trademark in short, but beneath the feet of Electric. He can catch the cross if a player
ตายใจเนี่ยคน
goes
ไหลเข้ามา
arch. And oh, it's Kayak walking
Deadman
back.
วะ
Only hits him for half.
เดด
And
แมน
has
ละ
no dash.
เจ็ดอะ
Yeah. Trying to walk out. Angel though.
Deadman.
Actually gets the player behind.
แล้วน้าอยู่ดีอยากไปวัดเนี่ย
Engagements through mid.
น้ายืนเปิดจัดอะดูดิ
So there's a chance. Or not a
น้า
chance,
นึก
a
ว่าเป็นหนุ่ม
decision.
อยู่หรือ
Do
เปล่า
we just hit
ถอดเมื่อ
straight
กี้
in towards B? Show. Ready
Someone you
to
Hellraiser.
support Rooksick as they both
Hellraiser.
take through the intel darts, but Fnatic still taking their time trying to get out.
Rooksick looks to try and command the space. Shao has to fill in behind. Alpha finding his first. They're in the close corner as a Shao commits to the spam.
เซียนจัดเลย
นี่
เพื่
ไง
อน
นี่ไง
Wonder Kid versus Wonder Kid.
วันนึกคิด
Spike tapped. Alpha in
วันนึกคิดถ้า
position.
ไม่วางเนี่ยไม่น่าได้วางละ
And with the
เฮ้ย
second
ได้เลยไง
shot, he
วันเดอร์คิด
A Red Bull clutch to bring us within one of these two teams.
มันจะติดคัมแบ็กอีกแล้ว
Fnatic Starboy.
ทำไมวะการที่มันจะทำสกอร์สวยๆเล่นง่ายๆมันยากอะ
The young gun who was brought
เดี๋ยวเกมมันจะ
in at
ไม่
the
ส
end
นุก
of
อะ
last year.
ไม่ตื่นเต้นอะ
Not keeping his place on the roster. NAVI doing so much to secure his signature, but there's only one winner.
ที่อะไรนะ That My Turkish Fan หรือว่าแมน
คิด
อ๋อ
The plays which keep the elite at the top. They'd love to force it to Icebox, and with a 1-1 score in the group, you start to wonder where do the wins come from to find that playoff spot as Fnatic looking for their place in Paris.
I mean, at the end of the day, NAVI will have faced Team Liquid and Fnatic now, so the games would get easier, but you've got a chance here to make some of the best bullied.
Rooksick?
Hello?
Where is he? Where's
เฮ้
he
ย
gone off
สิ
to? It's
มัน
the
จุก
B
กัน
side
อยู่ตรง
now.
นั้น
มันมีอะไรตรงนั้นอะ
Fnatic
ถ้าแม่งมี
starting
โอ
the
ดินมา
round
สักกระบอก
a
หรือไม่
little
พี่เชาอัน
slower,
ติมา
looking to try and find that
นี่อ่ะ
opening fight.
สำหรับว่าพี่เชา
boosted up with the TP
เห็นแล้วหมันเที่ยว
back of A.
ไม่เอ้ย
Between
พี่เชา
him and
แข่ง
Angel,
จัดอะ
we've seen that old flame
แข่งไป
reignite multiple times already this series, and it
แม่ง
may
เอา
come to
เอา
blows
มา
yet
เดินเปิด
again. Before Alpha has his mark on the round.
Some shot.
ดูนะ
Here's the duel between the two of them, but Boaster that much
นา
quicker.
เจอพี่โบ๊ทเสียทรงเลย
Again, no Rooksick. He's just swung straight into
NAVI.
mid and not
Stop
checked
up.
his corners correctly.
Leo
Alpha
NAVI.
continues his reign through mid as well. It seems Fnatic continue the reign to get this spike down.
done such a good job so far at containing Navi's game
ส
plan.
ภาพผมเหมือนนะเองตอนรอเป้า
Spike on site, they don't even want to plant it. They're like, well, listen,
แบบ
we can
ยิง
get anybody
ยิงช้าไม่เท่าไหร่
off,
โดน
it's
โดน
really
เม็ดเดียว
needed.
อีก
In fact, actually, sorry.
Spike planted.
Yeah, it's Kayak to go and get an orb in A main, as well as get the spike plant, maximise the orb potential.
รอเป้า
Then they
ยาก
can
กว่าโล
also go hunting for hero if they really want to.
ชอบโดนท่าเป้า
And
นะ
they will.
ถ้าจะวางเป้าต้องวางมุมอันพิดิก
Inzone flawless Fnatic. A tied game at 10-all. And he was on the edge of his own smoke trying to hide from the reveal. Nice attempt at the micro play, just very difficult to figure out what the hell was going on when it happened.
Yeah, 100%.
The point I'm getting to is huge ult cycle here.
Yeah.
And only 4 rounds left for either team to try and win this. Biggest round of the game.
And Electric's operator has looked good. That's the big thing. He's on an early line in B main. And Fnatic haven't interacted with that just yet.
ลิติก 2-0
Just waiting to see if Boaster was going to drop out the
ต้อง
smoke
ไปลุ้น
there, but
2-0 มันต้องไปลุ้นอะไร
he'll
องค์ประ
retain
กอบ
the
เยอะเกิน
elevated
ไป
position and it's a
โดน
stalemate
ข
between
บวน
him
ท่า
and
พี่บูธ
Ruxic.
ไปไม่ได้เถียงพี่เดิร์กอะ
เดี๋ยวพี่เดิร์ก2 คนนะ
Out from logs.
ว่ะ
He was going to try and take the next engagement, but wait for it to come to him instead. And that's the entry pick found.
A big
ไม่ใช่
loss
ลุย
as
เบน
well.
จี้พี่
Chronicle
ตรงนี้
still
กำลัง
down,
ลั่นๆเลย
to be set up for the B site execute.
โอ้เบนจี้3แบบ
Actually
ลั่น
still
1 แบบ
holding on to the Hunter's Fury, of course, but in the meantime, you've got to
เฮ้ย
think about Angel.
ตีมือ
He's
แตกพี่
countered
โบ๊ท
all of this, and Ruxic spotted Boaster already, setting up the rest of his team.
He's seen the gun barrel. He's waiting for the chance, the opportunity to use his paranoia. He takes it out. He goes, but can't quite get Kayak. At least keeps it. Someone Fnatic's
จบวัน
way
นาวี
over. Navi
แม่งมาเลย
are sending this one back.
จบวันนาวี
Taking the advantage with Spike down. What can Kayak really give us? Not much at all. Does NAVI only really lose one? And that's Ruxic and 8 main.
We've seen 2 different
Everything will hit
versions of
that
Navi so far on this map. One which is willing to play into Fnatic's hands and give them the fights they want.
ในวันนี้นาวีสู้เอโรติกได้ข
In
นาดนี้
tune with
คื
the
อ
offense.
ก็อยู่
Nice
ใน
play
เส้น
on
ทาง
either
ลุ้น
extremity
ไป
with
ปารีสเหมือนกัน
Alexic
นะ
threaded right through the
เอ้ย
middle.
ไอฮีโร่มันทูสเตทอะพี่
Huge pick to start on Chronicle.
ตัว
พี่เอบอกว่าอะไรนะจบวันนาวีแม่งมาเลยเราดิ
There's
เข้าวง
plenty
การ
to
นี้มี
play
คา
for
ร์โมออก
both
จากวงการ
sides.
งงจัด
ทำไมเฟรติกเวลาชนะใครมันต้องสะบักสะบอมตลอด
ใช่
Fnatic once again. Slow scale up.
ปารีสจะมีทีมฝรั่งเศสใหม่ก็อยู่ที่
Both teams use the drones
Dirk never knew
handshake, but NAVI give mid to Fnatic, and it's realistically just Kayak, the one scaling up here.
Angel always happy to
No.
make the rotation over as
ปารีสจะมีทีม
Navi
ตุร
have
กีไหม
3 players
ปารีสจะมี
on
ทีม
B,
ตุร
but
กีไหม
Fnatic heading elsewhere.
น่าจะมีแค่คน
Only
ตุร
2
กีครับ
players
ผม
here.
This is nice though. Spy cam contact for the paranoia from
วง
Ruxic.
การเจอ
They'll be able to stall out that first wave of
ก็แผล
aggression.
นี้วะ
Not if Kayak TP's past it.
And does so. Beats the play.
โดนเอาคืนครับ
เรื่องเลยอย่างนี้
Alpha, at least finding that trade is the ultimate fire up from both
เฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ย
sides.
Yeah.
ใครยิง
And
หลัง
that's
วะ
why Angel was playing retake. The null command comes in, and Fnatic have to pause for just a moment, and there's little time left.
They need to be careful. Crashes though is the contingency. It's a late play towards the B side. Boaster first on it. Spike down in mid, and it's all falling apart. Alfia with 20 seconds left. That's too far out of his boathouse. And it looks to be Navi, the first to find
โดน
12.
น้าไปดิขึ้น12ไปเลย
And not for the first time in this series. As we
2-0
said, the track record in partnerships is that Bind and Ascent were the only maps in the current
ให้
pool
ขึ้น
they've been
12ก่อน
able
แต่
to
ไม่ตื่น
take
เต้นเนี่ย
from Fnatic.
ชอบเล่นโอที
Keeping
ว่ะ
it close here,
ผมแบบแรกก็มีเห็นมาแล้วในตัวอย่าง
but can they find that all-important 13th to
Oh,
send
look,
us to
gang in
Icebox,
the-
an unknown territory
ค่อนข้าง
in
แย่
the grand
จับไป
scheme
ทา
of
งแย่ครับ
things. Fnatic short-handed, a couple of ults tossed into the mix there, but no return.
You want to play? Let's play.
Feel the force.
And Where's Angel's gun?
Yeah. Where is Angel's
Where?
gun?
How's he managed that?
Hero could have bought him.
คืออะไร
Could have shout actually.
Mate,
Nah,
I've
ไม่
just
ซื้อ
got
ปื
the
น
tour de force. Not you, Angel. You just used
น้า
an
บอกว่า
old
เห็
one
น
in the last.
เอ็มติกจน
Maybe this is the secret weapon.
No, it's
น้าบอกว่า
the
เอ้ย
back.
ต่อให้มันหน่อยวะ
It's the
ไม่ไหววะ
He's ready to
มันจะ
go.
Well, it seems to be the case.
เดี๋ยวน้าถือปืนแล้วมันจะง่ายเกิน
Electricus as
เนี่ย
well. It's he'll beat Alpha out in an up versus up duel.
And maybe that's all you need.
กิโลไม่ดรอปให้น้า
Like
เหรอ
a Pokemon trainer. Go, Alexic, into B
เออ
main. And
โล
there's
ไม่ดรอ
the
ปให้น้า
first.
Oh, he's been good for it.
ไอเชาด้วย
Fnatic though need to be good on their
พวกนี้
side
เน
hitters.
รคุณ
อื
Navi
ม
รู้จักบุญ
getting
คุ
the
ณ
re-clear through mid. Seems if this
น้า
execute
เนี่ย
is
แต่
gonna come
นี่แล้ว
through.
นะบายเมื่อกี้แล้วนะ พี่แฟด
Sure. Throws a flash to just slow things down a little bit.
And that's what he's good for, right?
Yeah, we saw the Thorns go into stairs as well to stop the flood from the defenders, so it's a bit of a stalemate. Alexic trying to fight backside blades out.
เฮ้ยมันเอาตัวรอดเก่งจังอะเฮ้ย
Oh, Alexic! Into the right click, claims the next, and it's
โอ้ยมีแบบสามอีกแล้ว
เอาแล้วไง
มึงเล่นแบบละชั่วโมงมึงยังมีแบบสามอีกเหรอ
we will. But be sent
จบแล้วนะวี จบจริง เจอกันแบบหน้าครับ แอดเซนครั้งแรกเนี่ยแพ้เฮเลติกไปแล้วครับ ครั้งแรก โดนเฮเลติกยับเลย เวลคัมแฟนติกพิมมี่ SIGL
ต่างไปยิงอย่างเดียว
เว้ยทำไปเล่นเลยลองหูตัวคอเลยนะ ตายแล้วยังคอพิมมี่อ่ะ ถ้าเราเจอเปเปอร์เล็กได้ลุ้นนั่นเนี่ยฟอร์มถ้าฟอร์มเนี่ยโอ้โหมันเลย
ได้ลุ้นปอมวันเนี้ย
จริงๆผมว่าสู้ได้ด้วยซ้ำอ่ะแต่อยู่ที่ไทามมิ่งเลยว่าใครจะลั่นกว่าใครผมจะได้อยู่ดูฮิลิติกโปนเนี่ย
เฮ้ย
อาจจะปิดละ
วันนี้มันต้องดูดิ
แล้วผมจะตื่น9 โมงเพื่ออะไรวะวันนี้ชิ่งดีกว่าดูคู่นี้จบต้องนอน เบื่อขึ้นบ้านเดี๋ยวต่อเฮ้ย YouTube พรีเมียมต้องเข้าแล้วจริงๆแล้วเนี่ยลืมว่าสงกรานต์มันอยู่ที่ไทย แล้วก็แบบเอาปืนฉีดน้ำมาผิดฤดูอะไรอย่างงี้ตึ๊ดแต่จริงๆทารอนอันนี้เข้ารอบเพลย์ออฟดูไม่ค่อยสะบักสะบอมเท่าที่ผ่านๆมา ถือว่าเป็นนิมิตหมายที่ดีเปเปอร์เล็กต้องไปเจออะไรก่อนนะพี่ เซต้า โอ้โห จีเลยนี่ทารอนมันยังไม่การันตีที่2ใช่ไหมดีเอ็มต้องชนะหมดอะIn the shallow
version we are going to get as we head to Asian Select, and it turns out we're rolling by the years.
I'm so excited to sort of see the Alpha Hero Killjoy matchup because we know how important the Killjoy role is on this map. I'm sure Mini will be absolutely gassed to see a double stage come through as well. But the last time we saw Alpha on Killjoy, I felt like he didn't put up his best performance, and it was almost the opposite with Hero putting up such a good performance on that Killjoy.
Yeah, I think Alpha, you know, we know and love him as a Sentinel, so it's always fun to see him kind of go back to this Killjoy, kind of go back to his roots. I think when I'm looking at Navi, Shao Sage is still something that's very interesting to me, but I'm intrigued to see how that works out for them. And yeah, like I said again, the duelist head-to-head, I think for me, is possibly the win condition for both of these teams, because if they can go into this game with all guns firing, then I think that's how it could go.
Yeah, who knew Angel had flexibility outside of KO, you know? Thought he was just going to be a KO main from now on, but nice to see him branching out.
We've definitely seen a lot of impact from the Vipers as well today, especially on Bind. So I think it'll be really interesting as well, kind of seeing that Ruxic Boaster matchup, because of course, Boaster kind of has the downside here playing the Viper, being an IGL as well. You know, he's got a lot of things that he's going to be doing alongside playing that Viper role, whereas Ruxic can almost go ham, you know?
I love that comparison, because Boaster is so passive on this map. You know, if you look at a heat map of where he is on B, he's as far away from the site as humanly possible, whereas like you said, Ruxic, he likes to get a lot more proactive. So this will be a very different stylistic matchup.
I think we can say that for Navi in general though, right? We see Angel doing the same. They like to get proactive. They like to go seeking out information on their defense in particular as well. We see Angel die first blood time and time again because of it. But yeah, I think I like that comparison as well, Meg. But also in saying that, Ruxic is on the Viper now. I'm not expecting him to be going and getting aggressive. Perhaps if he was on an Omen, it would be a different story. But yeah, I think for me, the Viper, he has to play more.
ถ้าเป๊ปชนะไอ้
He has to know when to rein it in.
ที่จะเจอ
Yeah,
เซ
you say
ต้า
that, but all the times he does get really proactive.
ก็จะเป็น
it works for them, you
4-0
know?
ทารอนก็จะ
He
เป็น
does get a
3-1
couple kills here and there. But that is it from
ถ้ารอน
us
ก็ต้องไป
now.
เจอ
Let's
เป๊ป
jump back into maps
ถ้าทารอนชนะ
as
เป๊ป
per
ทารอนก็จะเป็น
and see which
4-1 เป๊ป
team
ก็จะเป็น
is gonna be able
4-1
to close it out.
แล้วทารอนก็จะได้ที่1ตาราง
Well, we will need to find out. I
Probably
mean,
Ching.
we started the series off by telling you these two have played each other 5 times. It was 2 Fnatic wins, then a NAVI.
แต่ถ้าทารอนแพ้เป๊ปก็จะเป็น3-2 แล้วก็ไปลุ้นว่าจะล่วงไหมต้องไปลุ้น DFM ก่อนแต่ DFM น่าจะไม่ลาวดิฟน่าจะแพ้ป่ะแต่ทารอนแพ้ DFM มานะเว้ย
Fnatic
งงไปหมดไม่รู้มันคิดยังไงละ
as well, strong post
เป็นว่า
play.
เดี๋ยวให้อนาคตมันคิดให้เราแล้วกัน
And in terms of what they want to go for to kick things off, you're seeing 5 players already at the garage barrier. We know that when they changed up the pace on previous maps, it was a problem for Navi to contain. Ruxic can hear heavy footfall already surging up long.
อันนี้ผมหมายถึงไอ้นี่เลย
Collection of Navi
ผมหมายถึง
players.
ลุ้นที่1ตารางหัวตาราง
Ready to fade.
เพราะว่าถ้าที่1หัวตารางมันได้
It's
เข้าไป
only as
นี่
long as that one-way
แต่เข้าเพลย์ออฟบอกเข้าไปแล้ว
Alexic hitting the heights immediately, and Ruxic not too far behind. This reaction from the defense
เฮ้ย
has
อย่า
been
บอกนะ
fantastic so far.
เฮ้ย
With
ติ๊กแจก
Crashes
แต้ม
trying
วัน
to
นี้
fight through, his own dart not scanning a single target. Fnatic completely missed theirs to kick things off. An in-zone flawless Navi pistol.
แม่งไม่ได้มา
Hey,
เล่นๆวัน
listen,
นี้
what a way to do it, and Alexic keeping his form, map to map to map. He's been top of the pops, and that shot is ridiculous.
It has, and for someone who, in his first ever VCT stage interview post-game, was talking about how Durka was his idol and how he looks up to these players within our region, forged in
แล้วติ๊กบอก
Fnatic
เดี๋ยว
colours, of
อยากเล่น
course.
แบบแผนคัมแบ็ก
You were wondering coming into the day, would he show that kind of confidence against a team which he and everyone else are so acutely aware of how good they can be? Or will he show his own stuff? And it seems to be the latter right now.
Fnatic, they've once again shown presence B. Long want to head towards A now. With 2 Lux going through mid. Navi, the timing's insane.
It is, but this turret should
แผน
start
เฟนาติกคือปล่อยมันขึ้นนำไปก่อนเดี๋ยวรอ
through
คัมแบ็ก
window, and it's just classics from Fnatic. The deal with Icebox for them coming back into the pool for the short stint pre-champs is that Navi picking up another in-zone flawless means firstly they're comfortable heading into the bonus round, and secondly back to the conversation with Fnatic is that, you know, this was one of the founding maps that they had. If you're talking about building up a map pool, the theory is there, it's just about applying it and reapplying it again.
Yeah,
in a meta that has changed a lot.
Everyone knows that NAVI has been looking good on Icebox, but that's with the no duelist composition. With now them having Electric and maybe the not being flexible enough to play that could be the possibility. Does NAVI respect the push? Electric doesn't. Has to dash away.
And just as I was saying, the meta has changed a lot. In many ways, it has stayed almost exactly the same, and it's this regression to the Sage, which we're seeing teams find a lot of value from.
อะไรโดนใจให้มัน
Chronicle trying to start it off towards A, but Hero just takes the mid timing, and now Navi can drop back into their setup.
Yeah, I want to come back to that conversation in a minute. Will we still see Fnatic hang around on B? NAVI, look at the setup. On an island is Ruxic, and the Spike's heading over here too.
Using the one way to potentially drop back and couple up with Hero, but it's Alexi
ก็ยิงไม่หยุดเลย
instead.
อเล็ก
Still playing top gen at the time, finding the kill on B, and Ruxic doing his job, holding up the B end of the bargain. Surely not.
Chronicle is down
to amount of HP, which is going to go up from the heel, but that's
Solid.
3 flawless rounds. 3 in-zone flawless in a row from Navi.
Yeah, I mean, that was Fnatic's buy. The fact that they've not got a kill 3 rounds in, this is so uncharacteristic.
The Navi faithful in the audience being rewarded for their tenacity. As Alexic, Ruxic and all the rest have done their job. I think it's important to speak about the duelists, so as I mentioned the words tenacity here. Both Kayak and Alexic playing for Z10 in challenges just before making that slightly bigger step up in their career. For Kayak, it was Apex. For Alexic, Z10, his previous team, only facing each other once in their careers, despite both coming up in East. Kayak, a much quicker rise to stardom, younger at the time, but here they are sharing the stage and showing that East continues to be the endless reserve of untapped talent. Kayak, the only one with a gun in this round, a rifle.
Yeah, it's a Marshall.
And it's the Marshall at best.
Yeah, I mean, needs heads. Or 10 body shots. I don't think he's going to get any of that. Time still ticking away as Fnatic are struggling to get that spike onto site, and that's come through in the kill feed as well. Almost a 4th flawless round. Fnatic have their first kill though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Take a look at the scoreboard here. How? Oh, it's bad. It's really bad.
Yeah.
And so the timeout will be called on the Fnatic side of the server, but to finish off the conversation that we were opening there, yeah, it's such a deep region in terms of talent pool, but it's about refining those uncut gems at also the top, right?
We got one.
Fairy, we got one.
It's the composition everyone ran for like a year straight, which is crazy to think about.
So then, who is it on Fnatic that steps up? That's what we have to see here. It has been anything but a team performance at this point in time.
Yeah. And I think definitely something that coaches would be saying is be hitting your shots, get a grip, because they need to here. All 4 players committed on the A side with just
Boaster holding on to be long. Sometimes it is as simple as just boosting the morale. Fnatic know exactly what that's like on Icebox.
It's not 11-3 yet, mate.
No, it's not. You're kind of hoping it doesn't get to that point because NAVI have started off these maps pretty strong. That momentum has struggled to conserve velocity as things have dragged on, and Fnatic are playing the late game again. A clear towards B will bleed the toxins of Ruxic, which is imperative if they want to breach the gates of the A site. His Viper wall still stationed there, and only now is the mid setup beginning to get interacted with.
Yeah, Boaster the player to do so all alone as he works as a lurk. I mean, catches the first engagement, but look at Xiao. He's so far forward, and Navi need to be careful. A site giving up, playing for the retake, as Boaster still tries to rig that mid setup, but he gives up his life for it.
And now heading back into the retake for NAVI. In terms of the util, not all too much, but you have to be thinking about Xiao's wall and how exactly that can help the retake.
Yeah, I mean, Angel got his info dart up not so long ago. Well, Fnatic are just getting completely dealt with. Crashes is coming in for a late flank, but there's two walls, one of which is his own team's. It's 5 in a row, and Fnatic have got absolutely zero answer.
And so in this game of Tetris on Icebox,
all the
pieces falling into place for NAVI. Now 5 in a row, and while there's a couple more kills on Fnatic, it's looking like a Krispy Kreme. I'm seeing 3 donuts at the bottom of the scoreboard. And that's where the step up sort of has to start. When do we see them break the ice? That's the question. On the opposite side, NAVI doing everything, and as long as Xiao's saving that wall, it's a very easy defuse. And such a key tool in terms of spike security on both sides.
Remember, when it comes to champs points, Fnatic are 2 wins from guaranteed qualification through it. So this would be a big step back.
Absolutely. And just in terms of the own high standards which they hold themselves to. But for NAVI, it's an absolute blessing. Hero gifting them a lead in this round in terms of player numbers with a couple of rifles in play, both Kayak and Alpha digging into the pockets to try and show some kind of resistance. You can see that Ruxic has moved up deep in garage as well, so this big rotation afforded for NAVI towards A. Mid setup still not dealt with by Fnatic. A lot of the simple stuff getting overlooked at the moment.
Hey, listen, it's just as simple as that. It seems every player on a NAVI screen has been completely shot out. And even an investment of the lockdown. They know NAVI, if they can get this one over the line, it's going to be as easy as that. Ruxic into position, Crashes has got a time upon him. Yeah. And it will be a knife down.
And not a single Fnatic player getting a kill on that round means it will be another in-zone flawless for NAVI.
4 out of 6.
The only team not to jump the gun too far to get a 13-0 so far this year in EMEA, in the partnered era, the first to do it. But this is just next level.
Yeah, there's a difference between NAVI doing that to Giant X and NAVI doing this to Fnatic.
And on Icebox, of all maps as well, it's such a change from the norm. And
come back.
While we have seen Fnatic have individuals maybe slump at times in the long careers you expect for every single one of them to bed in, when it's not going right on every single front, you're just waiting for that first 3K, that first player to really do some damage. Right now they're stewing in it with this pit from Ruxic.
And for the first time in a long time, Fnatic don't look confident. Usually disciplined, patient, but they just look all out of answers.
To start getting onto the positives, there are ults to spend in this round, and that will get Kayak up and running. in round 7, and maybe that's just where it starts. Playing from top side, Angel does respond, returning with 1, and Rooksix still roaming around the B space as you expect him to do. Oh, but that's pet dropped. Fnatic should know he's on the move. Oh, and they managed to catch him in transition as well. Kayak with another, and things starting to come up good for Fnatic finally. Alexic hears the drop into mid from Crashies, but not able to equally respond to it with a blade. But just now, he finally gets his first. Time starting to tick away, and that's where Angel needs to get off the spike. Alexic the distraction, spots the next target, but Kayak is there. And having finally met themselves with some resistance, Navi streak comes to an end. 6 rounds doesn't feel like life or death, but when Fnatic aren't doing any killing, it might just have been. Yeah, I mean, Fnatic the energy of their fans as they get their first chance to celebrate a round, and they're still to 1.
Let's go, boys. Let's go!
And with that being said, the correct decisions being made in that last round, not to go into the Viper's pit and to go through mid instead.
Not only have we seen Kayak get some kills there as well, this is another area where Althea excels as a teammate, boosting the energy for everyone, just keeping the levels up even when it could be so easy to become complacent. A word which we throw around a lot with the top teams in this region for how volatile things can seem.
Yeah. Again, that ultimate's a big conversation point as Kayak tries the same point of entry once again. But Rooksix just spammed out and caught Kayak dropping down. Well, it is going to end up 4 versus 4.
Chronicle's still running through this defense though, up on top of his own wall with a boost in the corner, safe plant, or so you could say. He's stuck in the corner.
And managed to get away. Still though, we still stay all even, and if we really want to, Alpha here can use that lockdown, which he does.
Okay, but that's just enough time for Rooksix to stick this. Kayak needs to get on the angle, it's Crashies instead, and he just about grabs it. Saves them right at the death. Hero should be able to follow this up, but I say should with bated breath because Alpha is waiting. A feel-good round for Fnatic.
มาแล้วครับจุดเริ่มต้นเลยเมื่อกี้ใช่ไหม
I think the heart started to beat a little bit too fast there.
But this is also what you want to see from Fnatic. And when I spoke of innovation and bringing out a slightly different play, how many times have you seen the Sage Wall boost up there for that plant? That was very unique. It's different to the standard mid take, and meant that even while Navi had control of B main, they weren't able to actively contest for that space.
And even if it got too far or started to go out of Fnatic's hands, there was also that option to use Chronicle's res if needed. But at the same time, look at the players that are starting to move down there. Having to run, Scarpa for his life.
If you're Fnatic, you really be expecting this, seeing so much aggression in the main. With player numbers also facing up in mid. The fact that Navi have done this is good for them because there is still the Killjoy utility there. We've not really seen Fnatic go too heavy on these mid lurks. More of a split push incoming right now as Crashies relays information back as the drone makes its way out through the snow pile.
Kayak getting that deep lane towards Snowman. Now the spike finally being attempted to go down, but Kron once again playing off his Sage Wall.
This is really nice. Kron, such a capable flex player, but Sage on this map for him is always had its nuance, trying to gain that extra margin of advantage, but no pick taken, the slow still to bring this one down to a snail's pace.
I mean, shots need to be perfect from Navi, because how do you get by Kayak's up?
Grinding the defense down to a halt. Shao has his own wall here to recontest.
ไม่โดน
หายสอง
Kills picked up. Alexic over the top.
ไม่เป็นไรครับเพื่อนเทพหายสอง
And Navi getting it all done. The second layer in mid collapses with just enough time. Navi up to 7. This 7-2 scoreline has been seen on every map so far. the broadest margin was the 8-4 on map number 1, 7-5 the second, and Fnatic are going to have to settle for something similar here.
Yeah. Well, the buy not looking too great, so NAVI can once again start to build up their momentum. Full steam ahead.
เขาโดนพี่โบ๊ท
Actually, the only real loss is Kayak's.
ก็มันเข้าใจ
Kayak's
มัน
rifle.
เกิดอะไร
He has
ขึ้น
blades, and he's actually been seen. Electric Shop
ไม่
not
กลับ
hit.
ด้วยนี่ไง
Oh, but it is
แต่ดื้อ
now.
จัด
And
อะ
NAVI at
พลา
the
ด
same
ดอกแร
time
ก
are
ทำ
being
ไม่กลับ
proactive once
กลับมา
again
รีพี
through
อีก
mid.
ที
Dart comes in as a bit of a
Ui.
distraction, but Hero
ตัวยิง
hangs
ครับตัวยิง
around
จะชุบขึ้นมา
a little longer than he would like. Kayak back up on his feet.
He's just got a classic. He's not got his
Got that
ulti
flip.
anymore.
But a Guardian collected. Crashy's the one that takes the hit.
Maybe playing for his ultimate late into the round. There's also that Viper's pit for
Ui.
Poster. And he's
พี่โบ๊
able
ทว่ะ
to try
พี่โบ๊ทกับ
to
แองก็ยิงกันยับเลยว่ะ
That snake bite might be enough.
Molly blanket coverage and Kayak opening up the site, carving it to Fnatic's advantage. And NAVI now will be looking at the save. Alexic's op was what began proceedings as he's managed to best Kayak throughout
เสียง
this
อะไรอ่ะ
อ้าว
series
เสียง
so
รีโหล
far.
ด
เฮ้ยเสียงอะไรอ่ะ
Be a little careful here though. Alpha
Thăm
cuts
mũ
out the
hụt.
picture for the next.
Trying to do
ไม่งั้น
as
อ
much
ร่อย
damage
เลยนะ
as
ยิง
possible
ฟรี
here
ใช่ไหม
Fnatic, remember, they can't really
Ah,
lose
come
too
on,
much
reload,
themselves
that's a
considering the money situation.
Because we've seen that head-to-head between Alexic and Kayak a few times already in the
Lũi
server
hột.
today, of
Lũi
course,
như
it
hột
only
đấy.
being the second meeting between the two. Kayak going +4 in the green against his regional rival last time.
ไม่
Here
ได้เซฟ
it is Shao losing the gun at the end.
ติกมันก็ห้าวนะเราแม่งก็ไม่ได้รวยด้วยเป็นล่า
Alexic wants to find himself on the right side of history as Navi's 7 rounds are slowly starting to drift away.
Yeah, and I think this would be probably the
รั
best
บให้
time
บล็อก
to introduce a timeout if I'm the NAVI coach.
Sorry, no, I was just laughing. You're not the Navi coach, but I do agree it's a good time.
Cheers, mate. Thank
to
you
go for
very
that.
อะไรวะอยู่ดีกัน
Saying that he's feeling some of the playing some of the best Valorant.
ขนาดโกดวงการยังไม่ทิ้งพี่โบ๊ท
Have not been at the races in the last couple of years.
Seems as if they have a good lead in which to finish this one out, but just 2 rifles in this round.
ดูดิอันนี้คือฟนาติกสภาพที่ทุกคนไม่ลั่นมันก็เลยต้องประคับประคองให้แบบว่าชนะวินไปวิน
Viper's pit.
มันก็ยังสร้างความตึงให้ทีมตรงข้ามได้อยู่
They'll be big to be kept in towards the last round as well. NAVI start to get a better
ดู
picture
ไม่
of
ค่อย
how
ตึงเท่าไหร่
this
แล้วตอน
round
นี้
looks. Bodies now starting to
NAVI
move
ก็
over.
ชิว
That spike though you imagine will go down fairly uncontested, and that will be the case.
Yeah, 5v5 retake situation. Again, Shao's wall and the res if needed.
Still the
เฮ้ย
advantage
โหนึกว่าจะท่าเดิม
in terms of guns as
ๆ
well.
ต้องได้ปี
Well,
นี้
numbers now is Kayak
Hey!
his entry
อ
in
เล็กมันหลบ
this one.
ข้างนอกเลยเหรอ
Still low.
แดนจริงๆด้วย
There was a chance.
เพิ่มความเร็ว
It seems to be the case. As the last couple of picks somewhat got close, but as NAVI keep moving through this round, there's bodies hemorrhaging left, right, and centre. A 1 versus 2, Ruxic to make his way through a pit. He can't defumigate it. He can't win out.
ดีเคจะขยี้ป่ะพี่
Fnatic bring it within 3.
That they do. Quick maths, mate.
Thank
Quick
you.
maths. And that's why I think, in the coach slot, crunching the numbers, maybe you're not our man. Fnatic have found exactly what they needed.
Question, do you think coaches just do maths and the coach does?
Oh yeah, exactly. No, that's all they do, right?
Yeah.
Call a timeout, guys, go shoot them back. You only need 3 rounds. That's exactly what I'd say right now. Clearly, I am unemployed. But jokes aside, Fnatic with the op in here now. An Alexic deep diving B. Fnatic are already set up for the execute, so no problem for them.
Need to be careful. Boaster getting caught on that flank in a big 1v1 against Rooksheik, but they don't clear Hero, and Chronicle caught out.
Second round in a row player from top screen, but Kayak still looking to fight this one forwards towards screen.
Oh, Alexic takes his time and
Board
throws
team
Boaster
mad.
log,
Win.
and now with the spike down,
Don't
NAVI
tap
are
them.
2 players to the
Win.
good.
Should run.
Both lockdowns coming in incredibly deep that we see invested from Hero as he was hoping that that would stop Crashies from getting the ult in and denying some of that deep positioning.
Oh, the timing from Kaya.
น่าหันไปยิงกันนั่นนะ
It seemed
ไม่
good,
กะเอาสอง
but
เลย
still the
ตอน
trade
แร
out
กอะ
even better. It's all about delay now, and Fnatic winning out the post plan.
กะเอาประตูเลย
Alpha has the first, and here's the ult to fall back on.
Well, Hunter's Fury ripping off here. Alpha here still playing within the site. All 3 bolts gone, but that pit down. Alpha just needs to take him off the spike and done so. The pit down. And
โอ้ย
crashes.
โอ้โหพี่แคชชี่
Wins
นักธนูในตำนาน
Fnatic and brings it within
ของแท้ปะ
2.
ของแท้
5 for Fnatic.
ของแท้จริง
NAVI with clouds.
มันลงแหล่งแบบลงบนหัวเลยเมื่อกี้
They can see the darkness arriving. Fnatic have brought it back from the brink and heading out of the halftime.
ทุบแสลงเลย เฮียเจอนักธนูแห่งฤทธิ์ข้าจากแฟมิลี่ก็ต้องบอกว่าผมผมภูมิใจในตัวลูกชายมากเลยนะครับ ก็หลังจากนี้ผมก็วางแผนว่าจะพาลูกชายไปกินแปะซะใช่แล้วผลงานก็ออกมาดีขึ้นเลยผมภูมิใจในตัวลูกจริงๆ จริงๆผมก็สั่งตำผักบุ้งให้ด้วยนะครับ แต่ว่าลูกไม่กินผักก็เลยต้องเป็นตำมะม่วงแทน แล้วก็ใส่ประกอบเข้าไปด้วยใช่ครับ
ตำผักบุ้งเหรอ
ตำผัก
เป็นตำผักบุ้ง
มันโอ้ดีใจมากเลยครับ จริงๆก็ไม่ได้อยากฉลองอะไรมากมายครับ ลูกชายผมเก่งอยู่แล้วครับ ก็สุดท้ายก็เราก็แล้วก็สั่งปลาเผากินกันครับราดเกลือลงไป7-5แม่นจริง
In their favor, especially if this pistol gets picked up.
If there was a way to give yourself a little bit more energy coming back into the second half, that last round is certainly the way to do it. Well, the timer unpaused and we're ready to go back at it. As these two are ready to go for another boxing round. Hero caught out, and the players of Fnatic on the hunt.
Kayak trying Gonna lead the charge right after.
รู้ปะสงสัย
So
อยู่
much praise sung his way. Can he
Hey,
back it
ui,
up in the
đợi mà
serve?
phải
It's
vô.
not to be.
เอ้ยนี่ไง
It's
ตื่นแล้วครับ
sweet as Chronicle will
Ui,
collect
rất
two
tươi.
off the back of it, and the Fnatic
Lên mà, Huy,
aggression
lên mà.
does not falter towards A, but the B site is where Alpha has to contain.
Yeah, haven't been able to deny a spike plan, but Alpha needs to be careful. He doesn't give away a
Ui,
freebie to
ui,
NAVI.
mới hiệnด้วย
Instead,
ไหล
crashes
ไปแล้ว
does.
สองไง
And ships in the night, heading Snowman. Two Navi players backed up.
Ui.
Now Alpha's position revealed,
Oh,
and the
right.
Sharks encircle him, trying to get
แล้วก็เจอมันได้ไงวะ
ได้ไงอ่ะ
It's a 2v1 with Alexic
อ้า
required
ว
to
เป็นเรื่องเลยครับ
No updraft, no dash. It's hack and slash against the wall, and he can't get it in
ตาย
time.
เลยรู้อะไรแบบนี้
มันกระโดดลงแล้วมันรอดได้ยังไงวะแฟเจอ
Pistol
ร์ผม
round
ง
to
ง
be
ว่ะ
able to close the gap early rather than letting NAVI take an extended lead and having to fight back
คนอีกต้น
from it. Kron
ยิงคลาสสิกโคตรคม
ไม่ไปหรอช็อตเนี่ย
Now start to
Ủa, nó lượn
wonder
đừng
that
nữa.
by the time we reach that first rifle round, Fnatic's
The
bonus.
guy made Lego, bro. Let's go.
Have we hit the point of no return?
Big one, big one, big one.
บิ๊ก
บิ๊ก
วัน
บิ๊กวัน
Scott knows exactly
Big one.
what that one means.
Oh, wait there. NAVI
Everything
are
is
going
back.
for a force in
มัน
this
กำลัง
round.
จะสื่อว่านี่
It's
คือ
gonna
จุด
be a
เริ่มต้น
straight
ไง
play
ใช่
onto
ไม่
A.
รู้มันซื้อสู้เลยว่ะคือเกาะใหญ่เลยวะ
มันคิดว่ามันเป็น G2 ไง
Navi's
ตอน
chances
เนี้ย
almost live
แล้วมัน
and
แบบ
die by
มันมาตี้
This
เอ
next
เมเจอร์แหละ
เดี๋ยวก็รู้จะเป็น G2 หรือ
It's the
2G
kicker.
อะวินนี้ครับ
for confidence,
NAVI
especially a wall which cuts across the rafter position as well. Not the standard that you would see as the Stingers getting close
Oi.
range and do what they do best.
Yeah, already the first one gone, and it is Chronicle, which is a big loss. Delay no longer there for the defence, but Spike still not committed here.
Yeah.
And that's allowed
got
Fnatic
yeah,
to
left
get into
wing,
position.
Tip of the spear blunted, Alexic gone.
นี่
Roxy
อ่ะ
trying to
สอง
follow
นัด
it
ด้วย
up, but it's Alpha yet again.
แล้วพี่โบ๊ทก็ยังไล่ลำอยู่
Fnatic poised.
Spike
Yeah,
planted.
well, that spike will go down in the meantime. You look at the utility to come back in. There is that reveal for crashes.
And you're waiting for Angel to get his back, but still 6 seconds playing up close.
Yeah, there is a heal on Shao. Should anyone take an engagement and lose a big bunch of health here?
Ui.
That goes up, but so does Angel. This force does not.
นี่อ่ะ 2G อ่ะ
Oh, it's Fnatic deny NAVI any chance to regain the 2-round lead.
We got to pencil that tape and rewind it. What a shot from Kayak. A jumping Angel spots the head on top of the wall. They put their money where their mouth is. It was from the
Con
hip
va.
as well. That's disgusting.
ปลาเผา
Second one is as well. Jeez.
แต่อยากกินปลาเผากับแป๊ดซะ
And yeah, Navi have got egg on their face now.
Yeah, they might have egg in their face, but they're looking to put more. That's 3 signals bought up again.
Okay. They do still have money in pocket. This is a half by every extent.
มันยังฟอสต่ออยู่
Kayak at least not here for the moment.
bad
He's
that.
been deployed on B long. But the rest of Fnatic are very quick to make their way towards A right now.
They're happy to take that reaction because they have the extremity control. And in this brawl, the buy from the defense still isn't the strongest. So as Navi muscle their way in, they can get the spike down.
Yeah, it's down in the meantime. Fnatic though patient, waiting for players to come in, and Alpha
Second
opens up the round the same
Malilue.
way as last.
And the biggest advantage that Fnatic now have is their utility. So much more than Navi to stave off this retake.
ไฮไลท์กำลังคืบคลานครับ
And the
Oi.
orb takes his
Ow.
time in, and Alfia gets his second. Fnatic are just running through. Navi at the moment is they'll confirm finally the advantage in their favour.
นี่ไงให้ไว้ก่อน 60
I'm not sure I've ever seen
ชอบจริงๆ ไอ้การคัมแบ็กเนี่ย
that felt so one-sided to start, drop on its head and switch the opposite way as quickly as it has. Alpha's doing God's work. He's sat in the back line with the Outlaw, but finding all of the important kills as Navi are trying to lean into a more aggressive post plan, forcing the issue, knowing that Kron's coming back in with the wall. First real rifle round, I guess. Still a Bulldog and an Outlaw in there for Fnatic, but successful retakes is the story for them so far.
Yeah, I mean, the worry is Navi's economy, right? If they let this get out of hand. I mean, they've tried to force the issue, didn't work out. Now they put themselves at a vulnerable state. Oh, Kayak finding heroes massive. Wait, he's gone for more.
Yeah, he was, but finally thinks better of it. You could see him on the player cam looking over into the audience at the family members, trying to see if he can deliver them a gift here.
Put on a show.
Exactly. And with him having such big shoes to fill with Durka,
วันนี้แปซิฟิกแม่ง
being the
พูด
king
ไว
of
อะ
Icebox as it was when Fnatic first showed this map
เริ่ม
all
3
the
โม
way
งแม่ง
back
จบ
in Reykjavik,
จบแล้ว 6
opening
โมงครึ่ง
game against Crew. We
ทุ่
all
มหนึ่ง
remember
ประมาณทุ่มนิดๆนะ
how it went.
ไอ้
Now, it's Crashies trying to stake his own claim. Hero
เย่แม่ง
lost
ตี4
as the
สปอร์ต
Sentinel player.
ผมจ้า
Does Navi feel ever
ยิงเสร็จ
frail?
ทำหน้าทำตาด้วยแบบแคทที่
Screamer of a shot. Electric is the only one in
Look,
mid though,
look.
so he needs to be careful. Alpha getting a notification that Navi have made their way on towards site before that spike plant attempted.
ได้ดูมัน
And
ติดใจ
Electric's
เอาห
still
ล่อนะ
looking for more.
ไม่ขายด้วย
Shot's not quite landing on the first bullet. Hunter's Fury to try and dig him out from position as he remains entrenched. Alexic mowing his
โดน
way
ดับเบิ้ลนะครับ
forwards, but met with resistance.
Yeah, a little bit of
Yeah,
delay,
go on.
trying to work out in Navi's favour, but Rikshik's so low. Navi
Oh,
needs to
so big.
hold on.
Still aggressive in post, and with the numbers now stacked against them, and Alpha online with the
จะมาเดิน
เวลา
lockdown.
มันจัดตอนนี้
Would
ต้อง
there
วิ่ง
be
โผล่
enough
เลยนะ
time to invest it? Fnatic thinking better of the situation. The dash across cuts off. Alexic, the lifeblood, the support is gone.
โอ้โหโคตรเฉียบ
As Navi's
ดีนะปิดไอ
army
ตัวข้างในได้นะ ถ้าโดนมันมาเล่นเชิงนี่จบเลย
Kayak adding another
ยาก
clutch
เลยว่ะ
as he has been so capable so far this stage.
ยากแล้วนะเมื่อกี้เวลาน้อยแล้ว
With that, we will be getting another Navi.
ไปเริ่มใจมาพี่คนอีเคิล
The
ไอ้นี่คนอีเคิล
last
ยิง
of
5-6 ตัว
this
นี่คือ
map.
แต่ละตัวไม่ตัวสำคัญ
แนวหลังไม่ค่อยถึงมือ
ไอตอนนี้เนี่ยตอนเบลว่าโอ้โหจัดให้2แบบสวยๆเลยแต่ถ้าทีเฮดโดนทรงประมาณเนี้ยไม่คัมแบ็กเลยนะ คือไปเลยนะสกอ
เค
ร์
สมันอยู่ที่จิตใจอ่ะ
Constantly adjusting the headset, looking a little bit static. Finally coming into form, map 5, and in the decider here, it's a little bit more of the same.
I mean, if you want to talk about clutch players, Alpha here, better performances in the second half of maps.
We all saw the send game. It's not brought the op out this time.
Yeah, it's been 7 rounds in a row so far for Fnatic. Navi look to try and put a stop to it. The odds are that you would expect Navi don't have the capabilities to do it in this round, but there's always a chance, especially after the entry that they got.
It's in this phase of the round as well where Navi struggled with their direction a little bit. Rooksik's been spotted, they are caught.
Literally denying information anymore. Angel trying to look for more, and Navi finding it. That spike can go down comfortably. 2 players to the good are Navi.
Spike planted.
เช็คไม่เช็ค
Still has
ระดับ
the
แฟนติก
ball,
แล้ว
Crashies
เช็ค
needs
อยู่
to
แล้ว
clear close. He's gonna catch Alexic. Now that is a problem. Pit in play, but
เดี๋ยวมันก็ฟิ
not
สิก
the be all and end all.
Yeah, and no drone to
Oh,
clear the
back
pit.
there.
There is the dart, but with that lockdown being invested, where does Fnatic go?
This is a statement of intent from Navi. 2 ults to
the
confirm
ball.
they will not lose the round when they need it so desperately. Still time to play with. Crashy's searching with this dart and gets the timing on the first, but still the pit remains resolute and his chances are
ต
gone.
บว่ะ
หน่อย
จ่าย
loss and
จ่ายอัน
loss.
ติเยอะไป
Navi get better in this round at least. Bring within one.
And incredibly costly. Both Ruxic and Hero went down to the spike just as we sifted out of game there.
Yeah.
I think here, this is literally the first time we see a couple of gunfights go in their favor and they have time to set up a post plant.
Well played,
Yeah.
boys, well played.
And I think that's it, right? The worrying aspect actually coming out of that last round is obviously that was the chance for Navi to consolidate their economy state, but Fnatic were going into troubled waters themselves. And Kayak maybe a little too eager to take that
โอ้
next
สไนโดนเร
fight.
นดอลขจัก
Now you've got to be looking at Ghost or top side.
Did a good job being stalwart and holding off the push here before, but NAVI have an affiliation with Site B. It's a little too easy right now for them getting in the door. And from this post plant, 5v2, the odds stacked further against Fnatic's favour.
There's a chance here that both players decide to save up. Don't want to try and go against this. At the same time, Navi don't want to let them.
That's the expectation. Ooh, Alpha able to
หวัด
catch
สู้อัล
Hero
ฟายาก
though.
ชิบหายเลยแต่ละ
The
คน
problem
นี่
is
ขนาดเลือดมันเหลือน้อย
he's
นะ
stuck in this mid spot by the blue box
Yeah,
so long as he's able to crag his way out.
ได้
of
ยิว
it,
จาก
and that
เข้า
seems
มา
to
ไง
be the case
มีพลัง
three
เลย
already.
วัดสู้มันยากจัด
But Alexic the long way round.
He's been looking for this angle and he'll get it.
แล้วคนนี้
It
โคตร
will
สวย
be
จัด
all even 9 to 9.
งั้นไม่ฮิวให้
Not
ตาย
a whole lot left in this map.
No, not at all. We're starting to come down to the dying embers, and the same can be said
อยาก
of
ได้ออร่า
Fnatic
คัมแบ็ก
Finance. NAVI should have a shoe-in for double digits.
There you are, you little
And in terms of what the attack are doing well, yeah, it's just changing up how they're taking the fights and just being effective to trade with each other. We hadn't seen them be able to create tangible advantages previously.
But a big thing in this round is going to be Kayak. He is the tip of the spear. He is the firepower because he has his ultimate, the blades. Through mid he goes, identified
อุ้ยฮีโร่มันจัดให้ไม่
through
พั
the
กเลย
turret. And it's
Someone
Alpha
there,
here,
hero
the
up.
player behind him that gets caught out.
Still thinking about Kayak's blades for the time being. He's the most mobile, so that's why they keep him on B, but the issue stands with the A execution.
Spike will go down. Plenty of time to set up the post plant, as we know. There's even a player deposited to hold the flank just in case it's needed. Still engagements going on site though.
Oh, Alexic is willing to entertain
Oi,
this
oi, don't
spam
want to
duel through the slot, and it's not exactly going to help out his chances. The health pool of Navi is starting to dwindle, and Fnatic still have key pieces of util coming back in. The wall again.
And Kayak was still alive, but he's gone now.
นาวิคือนำบอก
A big loss. A shout
เอา
remains to
Oh,
find
Leo
the
ก็ไม่ช่วย
kills
ครับตอนเนี้ย
necessary. Nice one from
ลีโอ
Kron,
ก็ไม่
but
ช่วย
that is all she
มี
wrote.
คนบอกคิดถึงลีโอลีโอก็ไม่ช่วยตอนนี้
ไม่ก็น่าจะเป็นลีโอขวดอะไรอย่างเงี้ยช่วย
ลี
บ้าง
โอ
นะ
ขวดหรือเปล่า
อาจจะช่วยนะ
ตอนนี้น่าจะช่วยอยู่นะ
Casualty.
3-4 ขวด
We're
ตอนเนี้ย
asking a lot of questions.
เอาสักลังหนึ่งไปเลย
Fnatic
ตอน
right
นี้
now, they've
ช่วย
given
หน่อ
us
ย
a few answers towards the end of the first half. The start of the second looked good, but they're now slipping away in the business end of this series, which could set them up for a champion spot.
That being said,
remaining.
those questions, the coaches will look to try and answer themselves, right? Set up Fnatic for success.
คู่นี้แม่งจะจบกี่โมงพี่ขึ้นชื่อจริงๆเฟนาติกถ้าเฟนาติกเจอวิทแล้วบีโอไฟเล่นกันสตาร์ทตี 1เนี่ยน่าจะจบสักเที่ยงครึ่ง
Ask of the coaching staff and the players, can you bring yourself back from these positions? Fnatic, we know that they excel with their backs against the wall. Just doesn't feel like it's going to take too much to finally swing this in favor of NAVI. Now 3 rounds in a row.
Operator in play for Kayak. Where's he going to pick up his line? It will be towards the A side of the map. NAVI not interacting with this. Is this another quick play towards B?
Kayak up on pipes early is definitely going to be a remedy for Fnatic's A troubles. It's the B side of the map where NAVI have looked at their best though.
I'd have to agree, but the only thing is Alpha here is here, and he also has the lockdown to delay.
Oh, head spotted by Kron through the gap, under the stairs, sent to the cupboard. NAVI packed up in this round. Still 2 players towards B though, chance for the spike to go in, but Shao wants that advantage, something which NAVI were without on a lot of rounds.
I mean, this next engagement even more important. Alpha wins
คน
it.
ตื่นท
น้องเล็กมันตื่นแล้ววะ
Alpha headshot onto Electric, but still in play. Res available for Shao to try and find, but there's no one that he can really look to pick up on their feet. No new lease of life. Fnatic are the ones remade as the rounds drag on. 10 of
ำ
their
ทำแบ
own
งคัมแบ็ก
as we reach an equal scoreline again.
Yeah, both teams feel like 2 boxers dancing around one another in the ring, right? Both taking their own.
Good job.
Both taking their own chances. And importantly, for Fnatic coming out that last one, it's Hunter's Fury online for crashes.
It's also in the timeout, the adaptation to be a little bit different on how Alpha is setting up to defend the mid take, as you heard in the comms there from Kron. Big ults up in what is a very important round, just as much for Fnatic as it is NAVI. 3 players, less than 500 credits.
Ruxic left on a solo mission towards the B side. NAVI playing a lot slower. Remember, the fast takes were really working out for them, the change of pace. So it seems as if NAVI have found something that they like, and the spike is being committed.
Alpha running the same setup 2 rounds in a row. He spoke a lot about how the coaching staff have helped set him up to become such a flexible player and take on different styles. The Killjoy is a vintage of his. And with the turret watching over mid and the drone from Crashies now as well, Fnatic are set up to defend a B push. And only through one avenue as it stands. Hero is late to the party in middle.
Yeah, and if it goes that way, 2 players lie in wait. Fnatic happy to concede a plan. Realistically, nobody really trying to deny it. There is utility to delay, but overall, it's all about the numbers game for the defense.
Lockdown for Alpha, Hunter's Fury for Crashies. Angel has a counter, but that brings him out of play. You're seeing it invested from Crashies immediately. 2 tags, not 2 kills. Further delay from Fnatic, time running out, but NAVI finally get the spike in.
Yeah, the molly just missed. Ruxic though gets the equalizer. Peeking out, Ruxic another double kill, and Angel on the arm.
Kayak one of his own. Res available on both sides, but it's Shao that will bring Alexic back into the fray.
Yeah, they know this round is important. And there's no more ultimates realistically for Fnatic apart from that res.
And they're gonna get it. Boaster back on his feet. And in terms of that utility, an orb for them to maybe use to cover the spike plant. Into a lineup, Boaster goes. The molly coming in from the skies. But NAVI have Ruxic coming in from the side. A double kill which gives them 11.
They're getting closer and closer. It ends up being NAVI who get the value. After the ultimate's used, remember Hunter's Fury as well adds that res for Fnatic. And it might be over-eager, overzealous.
1 enemy remaining.
Angel doing so much work, and by the late stage of the round, they weren't accounting for Ruxic's positioning. The worrying thing here for Fnatic is depending on how this next round goes, what NAVI have to end this map out.
I mean, you're looking at the lockdown, that's not far away. Rooksik close to a Viper's Pit as well. The ultimate cycle will decide Icebox.
So heading into round 22, NAVI with an opportunity to make it 3 consecutive opening map points.
2 rifle shots were heard trying to deploy that dart from 2 different guns, so that's information that Fnatic will have.
เป็นติกของแท้
The A execute doesn't feel all too telegraphed. Fnatic have the correct setup, the macro looks good. Little pressure has been placed towards B where Kayak remains resolute with this op on the line as you expect him to.
It's all about how NAVI still slow roll through A. Trying to work their way around the pit. Alpha put on notice though, with that alarm bot being triggered.
And now that second layer in mid. It's not just 1 lurk, it's 2. And the reason for it, the lockdown. NAVI are fighting this.
Yeah, they're trying to play on the front foot. Fnatic have dealt with it. Fnatic are trying to run for the hills. Kron tries to take a timing as well. And it doesn't go their way. This throws this round time into
absolute jeopardy. Crashies has done all of the hard work so far.
10 seconds
yeah,
left.
but that spike needs to go down, and that's the most important part. There's 2 players for Fnatic here. Alexic Latek, he's going to be denied. Is it Fnatic once again? Make it 11-11.
And right at the death, we have an equalizer. Just catching Boaster as time expires. The one saved weapon for Fnatic was the operator in the hands of Kayak, which we saw absent from the site hold. The site hold which was fortified through the very information channeled back from the young Cole's scope. And for that reason exactly, with so much chip done, it's still Guardians, it's still messy for Fnatic to try and take 12 themselves.
Yeah, I mean, Kayak's decided to go for the glass cannon op. Confidence, that's how you know. NAVI still once again start the same round. Outside of it, they get caught by the drone, they do, but only 1 player, and that is Hero, normally the lurk player.
With the rest of the pack this time. No pressure from mid, NAVI, keeping things straightforward. Another A execution. Shock should land on the nano. That'll stop any further plant denial. As soon as this wall drops, we're about to enter Bedlam.
And Alexic tries to take that back space, but he's been revealed, and Alpha getting that kill, but still NAVI hanging on the free, hanging on the edge. Fnatic still holding on to the site, but Boaster's found a little corner.
แฟนติกบอสจะคัมแบ็กทีต้องเอาให้สุดทุกราวหรือพี่โบ๊ทคม
Hyper's Pet being forced out of the NAVI.
พี่โบ๊ท
But it's still not working out. Fnatic look to be the first team to grab 12. Rooksik looking for another angle, and it will net him 1, but there's 5, well 4 more that he needs to find. Time so low, this is looking like Fnatic ready to close out this round and get close to closing out Icebox.
So our stage 1 defending champions doing what they do best, bouncing back from a setback, even with a fairly broken buy. The execution here from NAVI felt a little bit fragile, scared perhaps to step over the threshold, out of the trenches and into the firefight. They do hold a monopoly on ultimates into the penultimate round, but they're on the back foot this time.
Yeah, the buy isn't there to back up what they have in terms of the ultis. There is only 1 more round left of regulation. It will be overtime or bust for NAVI. Once again, most of the forces started 8. Kayak lies in wait.
For the last few rounds or so, Kayak has been placed to stop any kind of B-long push. Rooksik sprints out, the star man for NAVI in the headlights. As Kayak just can't quite find the fight, and the fumes
นาแอง
are the respite
เก็บตังค์ 2,000
for the Viper on the other side of the server.
นาแองเก็บไว้ซื้อนี่ครับผมนัดหน้า
NAVI closing in on an A finish, but how many times have we seen them won a post
มัน
plant
แองไม่
on
ไม่
this
กด
side
บู
of
ดอ
the
อกมา
map?
I mean, how many times though
Tụi tăng
have we
nó
seen
ăn
them
này.
get that spike down on aim? I don't think that will be a massive problem. And then you've got the lockdown to create more delay on site. They just need to be able to stop the flood. Electric,
Tụi tăng
a
má
level
đi.
2 kill was there.
แล้วน้าไม่ซื้ออะไรเลย
The Marshall to try and make something happen. Chronicle
น้า
closing
โกรธอะไร
the
เพื่อ
gap.
Oh, onto the side he goes. So the
มันก็ GG ดีนะ
They're going to shut it out here. The lockdown, the only thing stopping the defense is Electric looks to deny! No way! He pushes Fnatic off his site.
And there's going to be a detainment on Alpha here as well. It's an effective 1v1.
OT,
and he
innit?
can reposition.
Both East boys. That's where they started their career. Kayak and Electric Alpha here, the difference. Hiding in the corner, close to the spike, it has been halved. It's all about the next engagement.
Such a bold play.
He's gone for it. The spray down.
เอาลบ
Fnatic will have it.
ลบเฉยบรรจงยิงง่ายๆก็ไปแล้ว เราจะได้ดู
GG ครับ
เฮเลติกประมาณเกือบตี 2ไม่ไหวว่ะพี่ไปนอนดีกว่า
เฮ้ยโห
ตื่นเช้าอ่ะดิ
เอาก่อน
ไปแล้วแชทฝันดีครับน้าเก็บเงินไว้เซฟไปเล่นในเพย์ออฟเจอกันครับ ฝากดูเฮเลติกด้วยนะครับ